Hey everybody, I am the MoeChicken. Welcome to my stream. Hey everybody. Sounds fine. Wanted to check my audio. So we're starting a little early tonight because I just can't help myself. I'm excited about this. So there's a company called OCD Reproductions that I have been using to order various reproduction cards recently, and I've had a lot of success with them. They've actually been they've been more forthcoming with information and more faster than the other places I used before, and so they're my current favorite. Anyway, I recently ordered several more games, one of which I was very excited about, and I'm glad that I got it in tonight, because tonight is also a special night, being it is the 4th anniversary of my first YouTube video. Yay! So we want to do something a little special tonight. So what I'm going to be playing tonight is Castlevania II, Simon's Quest, but it's not the regular one. This is a remastered version of Castlevania II that some fans put together to try to smooth out some of the issues that the original game had. Some of the issues, like for example, how so many things are like a lot of the clues are ambiguous because they're like short and in like, you know, English speak. Also, some of the directions direct you towards specific locations, despite the fact that the original had no internal map, and there was no map included with the documentation of the game. So it's like there were a lot of confusing elements that this meant to try to fix. So I wanted to play it and just see how far we can get. So let's go ahead and get into it. El Gato. There we go. Switch over. Oh, to the game. You can see my analog there. My controller's not on. There we go. Run cartridge. So in addition, they also gave it an opening. So let's watch that. Yeah. Let's see. Are you guys getting the audio here? Oh, it says you are, but there is no audio, so. It's been 7 years since the ending of the scenes of Castlevania. Once again, the stage is set. Something. When the hero Simon Belmont defeated Count Dracula, the Dark Lord's body succumbed to a long sleep. However, the cost of that battle was that of Simon's own body. His health has been slowly deteriorating, and he is beginning to feel that death looms near. One morning, Simon was visiting the graves of his ancestors on the Hill of Angels. As he contemplated his life, behold, suddenly behind him there was a woman standing in the morning mist. The woman approached Simon and began to speak. An evil curse has befallen you. Death is about to get a hold of you. However, if you still possess the courage and the will to face the forces of evil once again, God will surely grant you the power that you need. In the last 7 years, since Dracula was destroyed, the demonic curse released from within his body has been brooding, growing stronger, and Dracula's body has already begun resurrecting itself. Thus far, 5 parts of his body have appeared throughout the land, each strengthening the curse. There is only one way to end this curse. While the power of the curse is still weak, you must find these 5 body parts and bring them into what remains of Dracula's castle, and purify them by burning them on a hidden altar, thereby sealing the curse. Once the curse is sealed, the legend of Dracula will be finally ended forever. With the curse gone, your body will begin to heal too. There is no other way to eliminate Dracula once and for all. After speaking these words, the woman disappeared beyond the morning mist. Look how early it is in the morning. Everything's black. And so the hero, Simon Belmont, began a journey with newfound wisdom. There's no other path. Fight, Simon! Return to Transylvania for great justice! Let's go! Yes, this is Simon's Quest. As I mentioned probably up front, we're probably not going to get the good ending because I want to see as much as I can. So, here we go. Hello. Go and buy a white crystal. That's the first thing you must do. The beginning of all things. So you can see that's already improved from the first thing you should do in this town is get a white crystal. You know what I mean? It's just written better. And that's a large part of what you see here. The crystal salesman patrols that alley all day, but most traders prefer the safety of indoors. Some even hide behind fake walls. You see there, they're giving you hints that you have to get through fake walls. It's just like little stuff like that that is designed to make the game more playable. And that's cool. So I'm excited about this. This guy's got my white crystal. Hello. Would you like to buy a white crystal? It has untold magical powers. Yes. Alright, so now I'm out of money, which is unfortunate. We are going to have to gain up some money because there's other things I still need to get here. But we can wait until nighttime. Oh, I should show you this too. So remember how I mentioned that the original game had no map? This one does. Ain't that nice? Apparently this map was provided in the Japanese manual of the game, but was not in the English one. It's told that in the town of Veros, there is a hidden book that contains a clue to Dracula's riddle. So can we... Let's see. Oh, I can move this. There's Brahms Mansion. The ruins Castlevania. Where is... There's the town of Veros. So we know if we go east and cross the bridge from Devious Woods, we can get to Veros. You see? You see how that's so much nicer? Just like little stuff like that that just makes this game more playable. I like that. The sacred flame is on the top of the 6th tree in Devious Woods. Or Devious Woods, as it appears to be. I don't know that I want to go to Devious Woods, but, you know, there's a flame there. You know that the ferryman at the dead river? I heard that he loves garlic. So that's still a somewhat obtuse hint there. Hello. Homemade thorn whips for sale. Buy one. I don't have the money. Sorry. I also want to say that the thorn whip is the one that's a ripoff, if I remember correctly. There's one whip early in the game that you don't need to buy because it, like, you can very shortly get a better whip. The holy water is agonizing to anything evil. It even shatters evil walls. Once again, that's a nice hint about the idea that you can use the holy water to find secrets. And here we go too. Look at that. That way is west is Belasco March, east is Devious Woods. It's just like, because I feel like the biggest problem this game had was how obtuse it felt because things were not explained very well. With this, they can provide so much better information, and it's just easier to comprehend. It's so good. There's a friend waiting for you in the town of Aldra. You must go and meet him. All right, where's Aldra? Dead River, town of Aldra. Okay, so it's across the Dead River. Got it. Hello. Find one of the 13 hidden clues and a riddle can be solved. Not a specific riddle, just one of them. Somewhere. There's some riddle. I've also heard that this game did preserve the instances where a clue was intentionally obtuse. Like, from what I understand... Oh, that's another thing. Look, it just turned nighttime. Just like that. Ain't that nice? And so now we are going to spend our time getting hearts. This little trick here, where you, like, if you have the screen touch the right side of that window and the left side of that window, you can just constantly respawn green ghouls in this one area. It's really helpful at the beginning of the game to just kind of spend the night doing this. I don't know, you can still make the argument that, like, oh, first thing you do in the game, grind. It's like, yeah, that's fair. There are a lot of RPGs that are the same way. I mean, take Dragon Quest 1, like, typically the first thing I do in DQ1 is, like, get to level 5, which means I just hang out right by the first town, killing slimes and ghosts until I feel like I've got enough strength to get by. Like, I can understand the idea that, especially compared to a game like Castlevania 1 or Castlevania 3, you know, this feels dumb. It's like, why am I having to grind? Why am I not just going forward? You know, that's... I won't beat around the bush. I'm obviously referencing the sequelitis. Actually, that sequelitis is how I found out about this in the first place. But I'd say that this game isn't like Castlevania 1 or 3. The objectives are different. This game is more about exploration and figuring out where to go rather than necessarily just going forward. You know, and it's kind of the same thing with, like, comparing Zelda 1 to Zelda 2. They're different games, you know? And if you know, it's like an... I guess I don't want to say it's like an apples and oranges thing, because, I mean, Castlevania 1 and Castlevania 2 play very similar, but the objectives are different. So it's like, I don't know. the difference between using like a Fuji or a Honeycrisp apple versus like a Granny Smith apple. You know, it's like one is sour and is designed for a certain type of food, and one is sweet, designed for a different type of food. I don't know. Maybe I'm just making excuses. Maybe I'm just being a Castlevania apologist. Whatever. You want to discount my opinion that way, you can. But I just feel like, I don't know. I feel as though that's a pretty common thing. And I mean, there's some logic to it. Like, wouldn't you expect two games in the same series to have similarities? Yeah, that's fair. I can understand that. But sometimes you have to kind of like expand your reasoning a little bit. Think of the game differently. Anyway, that's all for that spiel. We're just going to keep grinding. I mean, this is not terribly fun, I have to admit. It's a little bit tedious that, like, right at the beginning of the game... Oh, I did that. Right at the beginning of the game, you have to spend time just getting stuff. Like, it'd be one thing if they gave you, like... If they gave you 100 hearts at the beginning, I think that would be a more interesting design decision, because that would allow you to either buy the white crystal and the holy water, or buy a better whip. You know? Now I have holy water, so we're gonna do that. But, you know, that's not how they do it. Anyway, we now have a fair number of hearts, right? 86. Not enough to buy the thorn whip, but enough to move on. Now we're gonna fight the wolves, and we are on our way to we are in Jova. Where are we on? We're going to Veros. That's right, because that guy told us that there's something in Veros. Now you might see every once in a while the game kind of like glitch or shudder or something. It's just a... Honestly, that's just an unfortunate side effect of the ROM hack. I've not played all the way through this because I actually only just got this in today. But hopefully, you know, we won't have any issues playing all the way through. I can't really say I know because, again, just got it. But yeah, I mean, when you make a ROM hack and there's like that much changed, you're gonna have some issues. So hopefully they're not too distracting or frustrating. All right, I must kill this evil wall with my holy water, with the powers. It burns. Powers of righteousness, I will destroy this wall. Right, where am I now? I'm in the Devious Woods. I really like it. I like having a map. It's cool. Ha! Ha! That's right. Alright, so... Let's see. So we're trying to get to... Am I in the wrong place? What's up here? What's this? Brahms Mansion. Okay, I don't want to go to Brahms Mansion yet. I want to go to Veros, which means I need to veer southward. The song is amazing. So good, Bloody Tears. And it's the daytime song. That always seemed odd to me. Like, it's not that the nighttime song doesn't feel, like, spooky and scary. Oh, hello. The rib of the Demon King can act as a shield that protects you from powers of evil. Okay. Yes. Haha! I was clued into that. Hello, sir. Awesome daggers for sale. Super cheap. Sure, I like daggers. Ha! I love how slow the dagger is in this game. Oh, there it goes. There it goes. How am I done stuff? Veros, Dobby's Path, Veros Woods. Okay. A laurel in a pickle makes all your worries go away. Why would you put a laurel in a pickle? There are clues to Dracula's riddle within Brahms Mansion. Okay.
One of the clues to Dracula's riddles is within the town of Algebra.
Boy, you are pale, young man. Please rest in church and refresh your soul. Hello, Father. Mike Belmont. That's a Game Grumps joke. Mike Belmont. I do love it, though. Oh, wow. That wouldn't have made it past Nintendo's censorship back then. I'm about to beat this guy. There's a friend waiting for you in the town of Algebra. You must go and meet him. All right, where is Algebra? This is Algebra. Okay, so it's beyond Dobby's path, which goes under the mountain. Neato. I really like the map. The map so far is my favorite thing. I mean, there's a lot of things to like in this remake, but I really like the map. Let's see. I need my... That's sort of the unfortunate thing about the holy water. It's like you need it for so many things in this game that it's kind of hard to justify switching to other sub-weapons. Why do you have 3 basements in your house, sir? This chain whip is worth its price. Are you interested? I am, but I don't think I have the money. Nope, I don't. So yeah, like the fact that you can get the Thorn Whip, which is 100 in the first town, is a bit of a ripoff since you can get the Chain Whip here, which is 150. It's just kind of like unnecessary. Wait. You're gonna hear a lot of that, by the way. I do love this song, so. I keep thinking of the Game Grumps jokes from this series. So, I guess if you didn't know, a while back, like right when Dan first joined the show, they did a playthrough of... Oh, it's nighttime. See, that's cool. Like it changes so smoothly. I actually didn't even realize it had become nighttime until I heard the music. Oh, so these guys are gonna take a lot of hits now. Okay. Yeah, they did a playthrough of this, and it's still like one of my favorite things they did. Ow! Get off of me, dude! Freaking eyeball! Ah! Get out of here! Get lost! Go away! Holy crap, these things. I gotta wait. I almost feel like I need to wait for daytime. Uh-oh. Tie-in! Almost dead! Holy, that's so many eyeballs! So many eyeballs! Ah! Ah! Whew. I could use a level up or something right now. Man, how are you supposed to do this without taking extra damage? Whoop, that got me. There's my butt. I always thought it was kind of funny how, like, Simon died with his butt, like, way up in the air. He was like, oh, there's my Simon butt. Oh, no. Don't touch my Simon butt. Please. Ah. I'm trying to cross here. I want to get across this. Ah, doggone! Stupid eyeballs! Alright, y'all want to go? Simon Belmont stands ready. No, I jumped the wrong way. Oh, this is a horrible night to have a curse. Alright, is there a thing here? There wasn't. I did all that for nothing. I thought maybe there might be a clue here, because since so many of the clues in the original game were kind of like obtuse and useless, I don't know where a lot of them are. And so I figured, I might as well try to get as many of the clues as I can in this playthrough so we can see if they're written better. But Yeah, you have to know where they are, so that's a bit of a problem. Oh, it's daytime. Of course it's daytime right as I finish up. Ah! Now, I do know that there's something below me right down there. So here's another thing that I just never picked up on, I guess because I didn't have the map. I didn't realize that the idea is that you're passing underground here, like you're passing under a mountain range. Just didn't realize that. And it's cool. Like, it's cool to have that bit of, like, orienteering to kind of know where I'm at. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. All right. Give me this. Yes! I obtained the sacred flame! I do not possess it, though. I will admit that I will probably miss possessing things. That's some funny stuff. And it's going to be sad to be without it. Sadly, we will not be possessing things. Oh, right, that's why the bats are still strong. It's because, I never got the better whip. I should probably go back and get the better whip. Like I said, we're not going to get the best ending on this just because, well, I want to see stuff. So we're going to get a stuff-filled ending. Which is a weird way to say that, but you know what I mean. Do you know what I mean? Maybe you don't know what I mean. You know what I mean only really works if what you mean is something people will understand. If you just say gibberish, probably still don't know what you mean. Get out of here. But yeah, I would say that Castlevania 2, Goonies 2, and Zelda 2 are like my 3 favorite first series that the Grumps did when Dan first showed up. So yeah, I've watched those a lot. A lot. They are some of my favorites. Well, this sacred flame ain't doing much. How much does it take to purify you, dude? Is he immune? Okay, so is he immune to it? What's going on here? That is one nice thing about Castlevania 2 is you don't really have any sort of limits on how often you can throw things. You know, like hearts don't do that in this game, so you can just kind of, you can do this. Alright, well, Sacred Flame ain't much. Jeez. Alright, let me get the stuff. It's worth its price. Are you interested? Yes, I... What? What happened? Does it use hearts? Was I completely wrong? Was I completely wrong on that? Hang on. I have 138. The Sacred Flame uses hearts. Well, that's good to know, I guess. What about you? Do you also use hearts? Is it just the holy water? No, it's just the Sacred Flame. I specifically chose the sub-weapon that uses hearts. What a cool guy I am. What a cool thing to not know about this game. Oh well. Give me your hearts, skeleton. He's like, that's going to be a tall order. I don't have one of those. Oh, it's nighttime again. No. Nah. Well, I know I can get lots of eyeballs up here, so I might as well just use eyeballs. Doodle-doo-doo. No. Simon, come on. More eyeballs, please. It's all about figuring out where their spawn points are in this game. It's kind of, on the subject of this sort of remake slash reimagining, I feel like that's sort of an interesting thing about older video games that isn't really so much the case anymore. Just this idea of like a sort of a revisionist bent where, when this game came out, you weren't going to find like a patch or anything like that. You're not going to have to download an update or anything. Like, the game was the game. It was self-contained, and like once you bought it, that's what it was. There might be like a second revision that you could buy another copy of, but you pretty much had what you had. And actually that second thing, the idea of having like different revisions, I didn't know about that until much later in life, that there were usually like a revision 1 and revision 1.1. So like when there were problems in the game, that was just part of the game. Like, the challenges in this game with its translation became part of this game's legacy, and that's something that normally, like if this game was made today, I'd just patch it out. It's like, oopsie. You think about like Bloodstained. When Bloodstained first came out, it was glitchy as all get out. I mean, it was my copy was literally unplayable, or it was literally unbeatable because a glitch removed a plot critical item. Now, admittedly, they patched it immediately, but for people like myself who like played from the beginning, if that had been a game that I purchased at full price, I would have demanded a refund of a game that you couldn't beat. It's just sort of interesting how like a lot of that idea of like a game with like permanent glitches or like things like that, it's not really going to be the case anymore unless the design, like the creator adopt like what do you call it, owns it, so to speak. Like, you take something like the Castlevania Harmony of Despair for PSN, PS3, whatever you want to call it. That game has lots of glitches in terms of the movement, and Konami was just like, yeah, okay. Like, I really feel like that was their... I feel like they acknowledged it after people started doing it, and they were just sort of like, yeah, okay. Whereas they could very easily have just been like, oh, that's not supposed to happen, and patched it. So that's in a situation in which, like, the author was just like, yeah, I'm fine with this. I already have one, dude. No, refuse. I got it. Although, come to think, I was going to say, well, I wonder what would happen if you try to buy it again. Hey, I got a chain whip now. Awesome. So we should go to Berkeley Mansion. Where's Berkeley Mansion from here? All right, we're there. Where's Berkeley? Berkeley is north. So if we keep going east, we can get to Rover Mansion. What is this? This is La Ruba Mansion. I don't want to go to Rover, though. I want to go to Berkeley, so we gotta go back north. But the other thing is that, like, when you play a game like this, it has this effect of creating sort of like a revisionist history where, so far, this game is great, No translation issues. You can has an in-game map that allows you to move around. Like, it's great. I like it a lot. And it just kind of makes me wonder how many other games, if they were able to get this, like, well, it makes me wonder if Konami was able to like patch an NES game. What would it have been like? Oh, hello. Welcome. This is I don't know if it has an official name, but it's the here, hold on, let me see if I can find it. Switchy desktop. There's my desktop. Let me show you on ROM hacking. I actually got this, I mentioned at the beginning of the stream. I got this from a company called OCD Reproductions, I think. And they so it's like an actual cartridge, but let's see here. Platform. Nintendo Entertainment System. Ba ba da 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 da. Castlevania II. Ba da da da. There you go. Go. Let's see. This is the retranslation plus map, I think, is the one. Yeah, the translation based on the original text. And it also includes this map. And so far, it's been really good. So, I mean, if you want to try it, that would be an easy way to do it. Just take that patch and attach it to a ROM that you will find on your own in, I'm sure, a completely legal way. And yeah, it's been really good. So again, like, I would love to see what they would do. Like, that's kind of in a broader sense, that's something that website that I've talked about before, the Cutting Room Floor, has made me wonder a lot of, because like that game, if you don't know what it is, it's a website that chronicles like auxiliary information, like stuff that was cut from games, stuff that was left out, stuff that was changed. And so, oh yeah, right, there we go. Look, it's a magical blue platform. Hooray! Hooray! Yeah, it has like stuff that's cut from games, stuff that was, you know, not included, so forth and so on. And a lot of the things that are included in there are sort of like, what would the game have been like if this was in the game? You know, I always wonder about that sort of thing. And a lot of the time with ROM hacks, you do see the ROM hackers will take stuff that was still in the game but was never like added in the final version, and use it for their ROM hacks. And it feels like, you know, it feels like brand new content, but in reality it's just content that wasn't used. And like, I don't know, I always find myself wondering what like a complete edition of some games are. Like, take for example, in Chrono Trigger, there is famously a sprite of what appears to be like a Colosseum that doesn't show up in the regular game anywhere. And I've played I'm just going to use this guy as a guide. I've played a ROM hack that made the Colosseum into like a special area by in like 2300 AD. And that's cool. Wait, wasn't there supposed to be a hole there? What did I miss? There's supposed to be a hole there? Well, there's a hole there. That's that. I do think that there's a secret here, right? Isn't there something here? Yeah, there we go. A symbol of Dracula will appear when you strike certain object with a stake made of oak. Oh, really? That's cool. It's funny you should mention that. You are the second speedrunner I've ever had watching one of my streams, so thank you for being here. And please do not hate my slow play too much. I am not a speedrunner. I play very slowly. But I do love the game to death. And yeah, Axe would have been cool. Axe would have been very cool. Oh, it's nighttime. Is it nighttime? No, it's not nighttime yet, because it's just the skellies are stronger now. They're stronger than my holy water. Yeah, the axe would have been cool. I don't know. There's a lot of things they could have done that would have expanded on this game, but I do still like it. And I hate that it gets such a bad rap. I hate when games that are just different get a bad rap because they're different, you know? That's not fair. I was watering the floor. You know how it is. Don't you throw bones at me. Don't you throw random femurs at me. So I just learned something I never knew about this game. I never knew that the Sacred Flame cost hearts to use. Didn't know that. Oh, I was looking at your comment and not paying attention to the fact that a skeleton was beating me up. I mean, for me, like, I guess I don't really view the worth of a game by how quickly you can get through it. That's just not why I play games. So I play slowly because that's more fun for me. Hello. Would you like to invest in an oak stake? Yes. Is there something here? I thought there was. What do you have to say? The road to Brahms Mansion will be heralded by dispelling the curse of the river. Once again, that's cool, right? It's like that actually tells you what to do to get to Brahms Mansion. Well, I mean, it doesn't tell you what to do, but it tells you that you need to use something on the river to get to Brahms Mansion. It's just so helpful to have more apparent clues, because then you can actually work it out. You know, I was playing on Tuesday. I was playing a game called Eastern Mind, the Lost Souls of Tongnu. I fell. Doggone! I forgot that was there. I should have been watering the floor like usual. Darn it! Back I go. Yeah, and it was sort of like an adventure game that was really like strange and obscure. And fell again. Dead. There's also a save game. So there's that in this version too. That's helpful. Where was the hole? Where was the hole? Is it here? Yeah, there we go. Let me jump over this. There another? Yeah, there's another hole. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, Tongnu. And what I liked about it was, like, even though I was using a walkthrough for sort of efficiency, I wanted to make sure I finished. Yeah, I mean, I guess I can see that. And you're allowed to play a game however you want to. But that's not what the game's about to me, so I don't really care about speedrunning per se. I think it's impressive. I respect it, but it's just not what I get excited about. But if it's for you, if it's for you, and it sounds like you're using speedrunning to experience the game anew, and that's cool. Just not what I get excited about with games. Anyway, Tongnu. I was using a walkthrough, but I was trying to make a point of tracking down all of the clues that would guide you, because that sort of thing is interesting to me, to find out how the game is trying to direct you as you go through it. And there was regrettably one place where I don't know how you were supposed to know what to do, nor did the walkthrough. The walkthrough actually said something to the effect of, like, it doesn't tell you this answer anywhere in the game, and someone had to, like, tell them. So maybe it was in the manual, I don't know, but that was a bit of a bummer. It's always disappointing to find out that, like, the answer's not in the game, but it doesn't happen too often. And other than that, it was great. So I just find it interesting to know how a game will, you know, clue you in. Because at one point in time, we didn't have walkthroughs, you know? So there was a time when I was a kid where you didn't have walkthroughs, blah, blah, blah. You had to find it out on your own. Or you bought a strategy guide. One of those two things. There's a bunch of dead people, and I'm gonna possess this now. Hang on. Hoorah! You now possess Dracula's rib. Hooray! What does this do? Clues. Use. What is this? What is this? Wait, no, what is this? There's this, you can save at any time? Yeah? Ah, cool. Alright, well, that's not what I was trying to do. I was trying to go to the clues. Look at that! Or you can call the Nintendo Power Hotline. That's true. Join the Nintendo Fun Club today, Mac. Also, welcome again. Look at this. So we're to let you know we're playing Castlevania II, the retranslation with the map, and you can look up your own clues or something. Yeah, a symbol of Dracula will appear when you strike. That's so neat. That's such a neat feature. So many things that, like, just nice little like quality of life improvements that make the game more playable. And that's cool. Because it was already a fun game. But now it's like a fun game that has clues. It was a fun game. Now it's a fun game with clues too. Yes. I do need to get out of here though. Let's see. Switch to my holy water. Hello. Herp. Hi. Kill. Ha. Hello, friends. Ha. Nope. Wait, maybe. Can I get out here? Wait, can I not get out here? There's something wrong. That is wrong. Can I not do this? Wait a minute. Alright, well, I thought you could get out there. I guess you can't? Huh. What's the point of it then? Could have sworn you could get through there. Oh well, whatever. Go back this way. Now, one thing I will say that they unfortunately did not improve with this remake, and I don't know how they would have anyway, but there still aren't a whole lot. Remember not to look in the Death Star or you'll die. It's true. Take my daughter, please. The mansions themselves are still pretty obscure, you know? Not a whole lot of waypoints in them. I mean, they're not so complex that you're really gonna get lost, I don't think. But they are still a little obscure. But other than that, lots of other nice things to like. Plus, I mean, there are plenty of games of this time period that had really samey looking areas. Take Metroid, you know? I just beef it. Yeah, there we go. Welcome back to Dobby's Path. Is that right? Yeah, I'm in Dobby's Path. Okay. Having that map is so cool. Love that map. Love that map. Just got hit by an eyeball. Glaucoma. That's another Game Grumps joke. I can't help myself. I always think of that playthrough, la la la. When I can't think of lyrics, I just go la la la. Cause I can't think anything to say there, so I just sing la 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 la. Just sing la la skeleton now. That was my rendition of Bloody Tears. I hope you enjoyed it. Let's see, which way am I supposed to go? Oh wait, up. Okay, so up is where I want to go. Down brings me to Berkeley Mansion, or not Berkeley. What's it, Brahms Mansion? Which mansion is this? What are you? Rover Mansion. Right. Kill. Ow. I even like... Jeez, that spider. Oh, it's nighttime. Did you like that smooth transition, though? It's so smooth. Smooth transition, so good. Ah! Ah! Help, spiders! Help, spiders! No! Oh my goodness. Ah! Run! Alright, well, we're here. This is what? Algebra. I've got a friend here. I've got a friend here. Somewhere. Nighttime, though. That's not my friend. I don't even have any garlic, so I can't do the graveyard thing yet. Meh. Did they say there was a clue in algebra? Did someone say there was a clue here? I know they said I have a friend here. Did they say there was a clue here? Can't remember. Like, now I'm all about the clues. I'm super interested in getting all the clues at this point. But I just don't know where they all are. Hey. Hey, Ken Masters. Do you know how many days you have to get the best ending? I have it in my mind that it's like a week, like 7 days, but I can't remember. Do you know off the top of your head? Since you claim to be a speedrunner, I will now assume you know all things in the world. that's generally how I view speedrunners. I'm like, oh, okay, they can do anything, right? Ouchie! I wasn't looking. Doggone it. That's my fault. That's me not looking. That's one little downside with my playing all these games on the actual hardware is that I'm not looking at my computer screen. So if I want to look at my computer screen, I have to look to the right. Admittedly, I seldom have people who show up, so thank you both. Yeah, when I do, I get so excited that I keep looking over. I'm like, look, people! People! Oh, people. Come on, Simon. I really like the red and black look from this game, more than like the tan and brown from the first game. It looks cool in this game. He's got shiny black pants, too. Those shiny black pants. Simon Belmont running around in leather pants everywhere. So hot. I guess. And white boots. White go-go boots. Oh, good. The morning sun. It vanquishes the horrible night. Hello. If you plan to trek through a swamp, eat laurels. It neutralizes the poison. Oh, okay. I'm gonna beat this woman to death.
The accursed dead river, a river that still awaits the one who frees it from the curse.
Okay. Anything else over here? Hello, sir. Oh, hey, there's the blue crystal guy. The priests don't pray at night. That's why the forests are full of demons. Hello. Thank you, Cybernator. 7 days or less. All right, we're not going to get that. Is that a sparkling, shiny white crystal? I want it! You can have my blue sapphire instead. I give you no choice in the matter, but now you have a blue sapphire. I have stuff. I was gonna say, do I have money? I have I have monster hearts. That's like money in Castlevania. It does seem kind of questionable, though, that like Simon used to power his holy weapons with the hearts of his enemies, and now they're just a currency. He just trades them to people.
Would you like to buy some of my laurels?
Yeah, sure. I'm really looking for garlic, but I'll take laurels. Hello.
Clues to the riddle of Dracula. I know one of them is in the forest of Aldriba.
Okay. Where is that? We're in the town of Aldriba. The forest of Aldriba is west of here. Okay. See, it's cool. You can, like, figure things out. I'm not going to stop being excited about that because it's cool. Hello.
In Aldriba, we pride on our garlic. It is our specialty. Have you tried it yet? If not, hurry up and buy some.
Yeah, all right. Calm down, bro.
He's like, I'm out here peddling for garlic. Buy our garlic. You want some garlic? They got lots of it. Wario shops here.
Remember how long it took me to make the connection between Wario's obsession with garlic and the shape of his nose? I just didn't put it together. Oh, hello. Yes?
A thing cursed away from sight can be seen as a reflection in Dracula's eyeball.
What? A thing cursed away from sight can be seen as a reflection in... Oh, does Dracula's eyeball let you see hidden stuff? That one's still pretty obtuse. I gotta admit, that's still a pretty obtuse clue. If that's what she's trying to say. Eh. Does anyone sell garlic? Why is everyone hiding in the basement? Come out! Sell on the streets! There's a guy hawking garlic on the street corner. Why aren't you selling out there? Hello? Hello. Garlic! Get your best quality garlic here! While supplies last. All right. Got that garlic. Kind of looks more like a peach, if I remember correctly. Isn't it? Well, I have a limited amount. I shouldn't cast my garlic about willy-nilly. Oh, come on, dude. Doggone it. I tried to, like, slide just now, and then I remembered what game I'm playing. There was no slide in this game. What are you thinking? There was no slide here. Alright, I gotta go to, graveyard. The Carmilla Graveyard. Here's a little bit of, random trivia. If you've encountered the name Carmilla before in vampire stuff, there's a reason for that. Carmilla, is it this one? I think it's this one. Right? Yeah, there we go. Hi there. Please take this silver knife. It may save your life someday. Cool. Sorry, I already bought the regular one. Ah, well, it's fine. Silver knife! Wait, does this use hearts? Oh, it does! Your stinky knife uses hearts! I ain't using that crap. I like my hearts. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, Carmilla. So if you didn't know, Carmilla is actually the name Carmilla as referring to vampire stuff is actually a reference to a book of the same name, which predates Bram Stoker's Dracula, and is about a female vampire named Carmilla, or rather, that was one of her names. She had lived many lives, and each time, each new like name she took on whenever she would go from here to there was some arrangement of the same like syllables. So like she was previously like Mirkala and stuff like that. That's kind of neat. And so yeah, whenever you see Carmilla, it's a reference to a vampire story. I like that kind of thing. I think it's interesting. So there. What you think about that right there? Yep, there's an eyeball. How you doing, eyeball? I'll kill you. Yeah, I'm gonna kill you too. No, just going right down here. Is there a clue down here? There might be. Nope, there's water. Fudge. Ha! Ha! Yeah. Wait, where's the... No. That guy said there's a clue down here somewhere. I want to find it now. I'm dedicated to finding the clues now. I want to find them. Clue. Cluedo. Must find clues. Reading spooky stuff for the Halloween season. Is there anything that you have read thus far that has been spooky? I'm interested to hear. I don't read spooky stuff myself, for I am a chicken. But I am interested to hear what people are thinking. clue. Guy said there's one in Algebra Woods. Maybe he was lying, though. Maybe he doesn't know what he's talking about. I suppose that's possible. I might have to get out my NES Game Atlas. Dr. Jekyll. How was Dr. Jekyll? I've read Frankenstein before. It's really short, actually. But I've never read Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. I'll just keep watering the plants while I try and find the secret. Actually, when I read Frankenstein, I was kind of surprised. It's certainly very different from the way it's portrayed in media. I hope you enjoy it. So, what does Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde really get into? Like, all I really know about it is sort of the idea that one's like a guy turns into a monster when he takes like a magic potion. And since I've, experienced Frankenstein and I know that that's not really what Frankenstein's about, I'm wondering if Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde is radically different. Doggone it. There's my butt. Ow. Ow. I keep looking away. So I have people watching for once. Actually, for twice. Thank you for coming back, Cybernator. I hope you've enjoyed my material. Kill. Kill. Alright, now we jump. Now we jump. Alright, now to cure the curse of, the Lake of Yuba. By ducking. Just like that. I did it. I cured the curse. By ducking. Then I fell in the water. Oh boy. Come on, Simon. Ow. I like the color scheme of this one. Like the blue and red. It's cool looking. So here's kind of an interesting thing about this game. So, in much the same way that Zelda 2 takes place in a series of temples rather than dungeons, this game takes place in various mansions rather than Dracula's castle. And it is arguable whether or not the various Dracula things that are kind of like spread all over the place. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Again, I hope you continue to enjoy it. The various Dracula things that are spread everywhere, whether or not they were being contained in these mansions by people that like honored Dracula, or if they were stored here as a means to control the various artifacts. Like, you know, just trying to keep them all separate so that they can never be like recombined in a Captain Planet-esque manner. If it's the latter, it's particularly interesting that the various bones that the skeletons throw burst into flame, because that almost feels like it's a reverse situation from the holy water, where you know, the holy water will burn. Whoa! I kind of fell through the floor there. That was a little strange. The holy water will like burn the flesh of evil things, but these but you see, it's not actually burning the floor here. And so I don't know, it's kind of like it makes me wonder if this is supposed to be like a righteous place that is being attacked by the forces of darkness that are trying to get to the Dracula things. And in fact, like, this is supposed to be a place to contain them. I don't know, that's the kind of thing that I always find very interesting. When you find out, like, you know, stuff is like unexpected like that. The reverse of expectations and such. I don't know. Interesting to me. I have no way of knowing, but also you might notice we're underwater. There's water above us, so there is that. Get out of here, you. Get out of here, you. Don't make me throw the sacred flame at you. It'll kill you next week. I should be using my silver knife. Actually, I should be using the sacred flame. Sacred flame! Oh, wow, it actually worked really well against that guy. I don't get why, but it did. Is it stronger inside? Sacred flame, stronger indoors. Once again, the unfortunate thing is that because there's so many hidden floors, or so many hidden gaps, you almost need to have the holy water on hand in these places. It's just kind of, you just kind of need it. Just kind of need it. Did I just come through here? Wait, did I go in a loop? I went in a loop, didn't I? I think I went in a loop. I did. I wasn't paying attention. I went in a loop. Sorry. Whoopsie doodle. I'm a dumb butt. Let me do this again. Gotta walk through the spiky corridor again. Because I wasn't paying attention. Yep. That's how it works. You don't pay attention, you gotta go through the spiky corridor again. It's an unassailable truth of life. Spiky corridor, back again. Check it, Shrek it, let's begin. Party on, party people, let me hear some noise. TT's in the house, jump, jump, rejoice. There's party over here, there's party over there. With your hands in the air, shake your derriere. These three words when you get them busy. Whoop, there it is. And that's the spiky corridor. So now you know. That was my rendition of the spiky corridor by by Tag Team from the 90s. I hope you enjoyed it. Hello. No, stop. Stop. Freaking jumpy monster. Curse you and your yumping. Fireball's coming for me. Secrets. I want secrets. Ha! I reflect your shots, sir. Moohaha. Secrets, please. Secrets. 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 Was I supposed to go a different way? I'm here now. Oh, I wasn't supposed to go up there at all. I was supposed to walk through this wall, I think. Yeah. Right. Here we go. What do I got this? Really? Well, I would not say that Legend of Mana is a disappointment, and I will always encourage people to play it. It's very different, I'll put it that way. I mean, I could talk about Legend of Mana all day. Do you know what it was your friends disliked about it? Because I've never heard that it's a disappointment. I've heard that some people felt like it was kind of obscure and strange, but I've never heard that it was disappointing. There's nothing over here, is there? Oh, no, there's this. Yay! Dracula's heart will destroy certain curse. Okay. I think it's fun, and you know, they came out with a remake recently, so it's not even hard to get anymore. Although I think the original's better, but you know, remake's still pretty damn good. I mean, I would say the biggest challenge with Legend of Mana is that it's not as straightforward as other RPGs. Like Secret of Mana is pretty, you know, it's a straightforward RPG. You fight the bad guys. Legend of Mana, you just kind of like wander around and cool stuff happens. And there are like a lot of systems that are kind of obscure and stuff like that. So you gotta be ready for a little bit of that. It's not gonna be as bad as Romancing Saga 3, which is also a wonderful game, but it's obscure as heck. They were made by the same person, which is why I bring it up. But yeah, Legend of Mana's awesome, dude. I love Legend of Mana. I've loved that game for years, and I still love it. I actually, speaking of Legend of Mana, I finally platinumed the remake, so that's exciting. Which means that I've pretty much done everything in the game. Like, there's some games I feel that you can platinum without actually doing everything. That one, you have to do everything. You have to be level 99. You have to have seen every event. You have to have you find books and walls. Put garlic on cemetery ground and demons will die. You may also meet someone awaiting you. Cool. Awesome. Hello. What do we got here? Oh, yeah. It's one of the big downsides to Legend of Mana, which is part of the reason I'm glad that they finally re-released it, is that it was a game that, well, only ever had one release on the PlayStation. And so, like, if you couldn't get that copy, you were just out of luck, you know? Oh, I don't have a steak in this. Fudge! Where was I supposed to get my steak? Argle. Urgle. Oy vey. Yeah, so like if you couldn't find a copy of it, then you didn't play it. Just you weren't gonna be able to play it. So I mean that was like a major difficulty, and that's again why I'm happy that they released it again. It's just you know, you gotta find that thing. That's great. It is worth every penny. Oh, they usually have a steak person somewhere in the mansion. I'm really not paying attention. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry for people that are watching this VOD and just watching me amble around. Like my poor friend who introduced me to this game the first time and who I regard as like my guru for this is just gonna be like, what were you doing? What were you doing? Did you forget everything about the game? And I'll be like, yeah, I'm sorry. I forgot what I was doing. I don't know where the steak person is. They should be here somewhere. I gotta remember where they are. Where could they have been? Where could they be, though? I feel like I went everywhere already. Are we down here? Oh, there they are. There's the steak person. Oh, I just didn't go down. Yeah, give me an oak steak. What are you video editing? Do you make videos as well? If so, what type of topic do you make? There. Curse you, skeleton. You and your purpleness. One thing I do like about this game is that I don't think the time changes while you're indoors. You have like infinite time inside. It's like the greenhouse from Harvest Moon. Or rather, it's like nighttime in the original Harvest Moon and the greenhouse and subsequent versions of Harvest Moon. Hello. Screw you, dude! No, I fell. And jump. No. Ah. Come here, you. Backtracking. Whee! Alright, it's time to possess the next object. So here's something I didn't know for a long time. I never knew that he actually throws the stake. Ha! It's like a projectile. Past just came back into the movie documenting the kinetic race. I don't know what the kinetic race is. What is the kinetic race? That's not familiar to me. Is that like the marble runs? So I'm sorry if that's horribly off, but I really don't know the term. And when you say you're making a karaoke video, do you mean that like you're making a video of yourself singing, or you're making a video for use in karaoke? Oh, now I just have to leave. I will admit that, you know, of the many gripes about this game, the idea that there are so few, like, bosses does kind of make the stages feel kind of, like, anticlimactic. Like, you go through all this monstrous area, and then you get the thing, and you just, like, walk out. Or you fall in the water, like I just did. You know, it's just sort of like, alright, I'm done. Guess I'll leave. You know? Which I guess is sort of what you would do in this scenario. You know, if getting back to the theory that the Dracula things were placed here to protect them, it kind of makes sense that there wouldn't necessarily be some sort of big bad waiting for you at the end, because they wouldn't have gotten there yet. Kinetic races are human-powered machine races that cross land, sand, and sea. Huh. That sounds kind of neat. So it's like a is it like a Birdman competition where it's like a like human powered flight? Is it nighttime or it's daytime? Okay. Make a video to karaoke too. Gotcha. That is important too. Let's see, where do I need to go next? I need to go to there was Berkeley. I gotta go back to where is it? There's Brahms Mansion. Is it Brahms Mansion next? Sodom Woods, Town of Ondal, Strigoi, Deborah Cliff, Doina, Bathory Mansion. Wait, Bathory Mansion? Really? That's cool. Oh, it's more goofy? I'm fine with that. That's still cool. But yeah, Bathory Mansion. Do you recognize that reference? That's that is a reference to Elizabeth Bathory, who was believed to be a vampire in the same sense that Vlad Tepes was believed to be a vampire, like a real world vampire. And actually, the character Countess Bartley from Castlevania Bloodlines was based on the legend of Elizabeth Bathory. I actually learned most of what I know about Elizabeth Bathory, which is not a ton, from a rather interesting YouTube video that was trying to debunk the Elizabeth Bathory legend as being like a story designed to kind of like take her down. like the church put together this idea that she was some kind of a, you know, blood drinking demon because she was actually like a physician. I don't know how true that is, but it was an interesting video. I can tell you that much. It was an interesting video. I do still kind of like the idea of Elizabeth Bartley as like a vampire in the same sense that I like the idea of Dracula as a vampire as well. So, you know, I just think they're fictional characters. I don't see why it has to be a blight on the name of whoever it was inspired by. Eh, get out of here, you. Have some holy water. La 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 la. Da 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 da. Ow, you hit me in the face, you hit me again. Blah da da da. Where's the next mansion? That's Berkeley. Now I'm wondering if all of the names of the various mansions are based on like vampire stuff. Because I could see Brahms Mansion being a reference to Bram Stoker. Which leaves Ruba, Berkeley, and Strigoi. Strigoi, I believe, is also a vampire thing. I think that's like a term for a type of vampire. I wonder if Laruba and Berkeley have any reference to vampire stuff. That's fun. I love finding out stuff like that. Like, oh, wait, what do we got? Elizabeth, very metal. Yeah, I mean, that sort of stuff did happen a lot. Did happen a lot. Yeah, I wonder if Laruba and Berkeley. I mean, I can't. When I think Berkeley, all I think about is the school. Actually, when I think about Brahms, all I think about is the composer. So there's that. But what does it say? I wonder if there's a thing. Laruba and Berkeley. Let's see, I think now we cross the river to go to. That's right. I need the heart for the ferryman. Okay, cool. We're good. We're good.
I know where I'm going now. It's okay.
Another Game Grumps reference. They referred to these like green guys as like monsters from a mid-90s laundry commercial. so whenever I see them, they were like, "We're causing pit stains. Ring around the collar." I can't help it. I always think of that one playthrough. It's really good if you like Game Grumps. It's funny. It's old, but it's funny. All right, hello. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Thank you. Presumably, I just had communion, and now I feel better. Those little wafers are amazing! Oh, communion wafers. Oh! Alright, so now we go west, right? West, which is left, to Belasco Marsh. Da, da, da. Hello, whatever you are. Hello, strange creature. Whoa. Da, da, da. That wolf had things to do. He just kind of ran past me. See you later. Oh no, globular monster. Laurels, please. Ah, it hurts. Thought they lasted longer than that. You want to go? You want to go? Oh, I bet he doesn't say I'll take you to a good place anymore. Oh, that's sad. What do you say now? Hi. Let me take you to where you must go. I think in the original he said something about destiny. Something like that. It's purple now. Purple is where I must go. And he just bounces off the shore. He's like, peace out, y'all. I got important ferryman things to do. All right, here we go. All right, so we are now in Brahms Mansion. Although I do notice that Brahms is spelled like the composer, not like the author. So maybe there's no connection, but it would be cool if there was, right? That's what I say, at least. Actually, hold on just a sec. I will be right back. Did I not mute my mic? I sure didn't! Boo! Give me back the Death Star! I am error! Yeah, there's some quality, English in Nintendo games, isn't there? Alright, so as I mentioned before, I have not found all of the clues before. Also, I have the delicious taste of Dr. Pepper Zero. I never found all the clues before. Which means, if I want to find the clues, I gotta whip out the NES Game Atlas. And that's what I got right here. Let's see where the clues are. List them. Well, you guys aren't getting to see anything interesting here. I'm sorry. I'll try and make it quick. Scroll. Okay, so that's what they call it. Scrolls. Scroll there. Yep. 3 scrolls. Did I get 3 scrolls in Berkeley Mansion? Did I get 3 scrolls in Berkeley Mansion? Hang on. I don't think I did. Oh, bugger. Yeah. That's so helpful. All right. No. How do controls work? There we go. Yeah. Heart and garlic. I think I missed some. All right, so we might be going back to Berkeley Mansion. What's in this one? What's in this? We're in Brahms Mansion. Bodley Mansion. Oh, they may have changed the names in the Oh no, Bodley was probably supposed to be Bathory. It's funny to kind of decode mistranslations, isn't it? Brahms Mansion, yes. Okay, there's a scroll here. There are 2 scrolls here. Okay, so there are 2 clues in this temple, or in this castle thing, mansion. What do you call this? It's a mansion. Don't you stab me. Don't you stab me. I see you over there. I see you watching. I've been playing this for an hour and a half already? Jeez. Time flies when you're having fun. Killing evil! Yes! Yes! Get down here, slime. Alright, I think one of the clues was supposed to be over here somewhere, right? Yes? Yes, no? Maybe so. I mean, one nice thing about the clues is that I believe that they're always contained inside, like, walls that are at least 2 thick, you know? So, you know, you're not going to find them in, like, walls that are just 1 thick. Oh, maybe that's it up there. I bet you that's it up there. How do I get up there, though? Yeah, with the retranslation, it really elevates this game into something that's I don't know. I just really like the idea of games that have effective like clues and direction in them, because not every game does. And when you get that, it's so like refreshing and exciting, especially if it's a game like this that I've played for many years and I'm able to kind of appreciate in a new way.
Curse you, jumpy demon! I blame you for all of life's ills.
Uh-oh. What now? Can I, like, angle it? How do you do this? How do I get down there? There must be a way for me to get down there. How do you do this? Hey, there we go. Boy, you really had to finagle that one. Yay, clue! When you wrap dry herbs such as laurels in a silk bag, they will be brought to life. Okay. I don't know what that means. I know I will eventually get a silk bag, but I don't know how it will help my laurels. But cool. It's cool to get clues. It's cool that I can reference my clues at any time. Game is cool. So really my question now is when next I decide I want to play Castlevania II, will I play this version or will I play the original? I don't know. I mean, every once in a while they're like, with a lot of things I usually like to play the originals. I don't know, that's just the kind of gamer I am. I like to play the originals. With, you know, warts and all. But this is pretty good, man. And I've played the original so many times that's like I don't really need to play it again. I know it. I was gonna say I know it back to front, but considering how many mistakes I've made this playthrough, I really can't say that. Press a ruby against the Deborah cliff. Kneel and wait for a whirlwind. That is so much clearer than the original, where it talks about like waiting for a spirit on Deborah cliff and makes no reference to the red crystal. Oh my gosh, so helpful. So helpful to just have basic information. Also, playing this does make it pretty clear the faults of the original. Oh well. That's fine. I never did finish that thought about sort of the more complete versions of games, did I? Just the idea that like you could release a game and like there's so many things in games that are like faults, and not even situations necessarily where it's like a glitch or anything, but just a place where like something's not optimized right. And it always makes me wonder if the game was remade or re-released or patched or whatever you want to call it, would it be different? Or was that element a part of the original design? Oh wait, we're gonna have to fight a boss now, aren't we? This is Carmilla, I think. Oh, it's kind of a shame that Carmilla's not in Bathory Mansion. That's a shame. I mean, they're not related, but it's still a shame. All right. Oh no, it's Death. Never mind, it's Death. Hey, Death. How you doing? Get out of here, Death. Get out of here, Death. Death, go away. Oh, I'm dead. He's like, I know, I did that to you. He's like, I'm fully aware. It was your time, Simon. Boy, Death, you are easier in this game than you are usually. I say that, but you're still killing me. He's like, I know, I'm Death. That's what I do. Well, I don't kill you. I let you know that you're dead, though. Yay! I got the golden kniff. And now I shall possess something. I will now possess. Ha! You now possess Dracula's eyeball. Whoopie-doodle. What does the eyeball do? What's the eyeball do? Grim Reaper. Does this tell me what things do? I feel like it does. You tell me what things do? No, it doesn't really tell me what to do. Okay. Never mind. Alright. So how are we doing on the clues? Let's see. So got clues. So we have 6. So I'm guessing these are probably in order of where you encounter them, so. Excuse me. Oh, hey. Hey, Death. He's like, what? Did you think I was dead or something? I'm Death! It doesn't work. Or put differently, he's gravity. Oh, that is a reference to a playthrough that was actually one of my first inspirations when I was getting into like LPing. A wonderful creator who used to go by the name of Evil Tim. You actually might still be able to find his stuff on YouTube. He had, for whatever reason, he changed his name to Cruelest Chris on YouTube, but in his videos he called himself Evil Tim. But he only did a few games that he played, and he did a lot of Castlevania games, and I loved them. It's like some of my favorite content. I still listen to them, even though they were like from like 2006 or something. They're like really, really, really old. But they're still so good. So good. Anyway, what did he say? What was I referencing? Whatever. I was just thinking about a Cruelest Chris thing. Evil Tim. So good. Dead! There's my butt. Oh, jeez. You just started me on the same plane as them? That's not nice. Oh, yeah, gravity. Right. The idea that death is actually gravity. That was the science lesson in one of his videos. I actually think it was maybe a situation where he wrote himself into a corner, because in one of his videos he had this like continuous thing where he would talk about like science lessons, and he at the end of one of them he showed a picture of death from like the illustration of death from Symphony of the Night. And he says, in the next episode, we'll talk about this person. And no, it's not death. It's something much sillier. Just sort of felt like maybe he didn't have an idea. He just was setting it up. I don't know. I have no way of knowing, but I do enjoy his content. Or did enjoy his content, I suppose. All good things must come to an end. Creators cannot keep creating forever. Especially not back then. You know, you couldn't make money on it back then. It was a long time ago. You had to be a hobbyist, like I am. So ain't no way I'm making money off my videos. Alright, where am I now? Where am I now? I'm in the middle of the dead river. Okay. I don't want to be here. Wait, where was I? Oh, it was a okay, so Brahms Mansion. Oh, okay. Man, that's cool. That map is so helpful and neat. What a cool thing. Alright, up. Can't really remember if there's anything over here, but I might as well check while I'm here. Up. Up. Oh, jeez. Well, there we go. Up. Up. Gotta use the little height you get from the jump, or to help with your jump. Yep. Yep. And up. And up. Alright, what's over here? I don't remember. Oh, mummies. That's cool. Whoa. And What are these things? These things, they have a funny name, like Altair or something. The eagles. They're not just called eagles. They're called something else. Hello. Oh, it's a Medusa head. This place is crazy. Hi. Oh, a person. Hello. I would like to give you this giant diamond. Thanks, bro. Here, welcome to my house. Have this diamond. Enjoy my Medusa head pets and my eagles. Actually, come to think of it, this is the first instance of the ricochet rock, isn't it? That didn't come back for a long time now that I think about it. That's cool. Yet another first that this game had that people probably don't give it credit for. Oh no! Darkness has fallen! Also, eagles! Run away! Oh, jeez. Sorry about that. Alright, so we gotta go back to Brahms Mansion. So that we can get clues for Dracula's riddle are found in the mansions. That was dumb. Why did I jump? Nuts. I went on the other side of the river again. Fudge. Wait, where was I just then? Western Bridge? Was I in the Jam Wasteland? Bro, was I in the wasteland of jam? Dude! There's jam everywhere. That's why I got a diamond. Because that makes sense, y'all. You go to the wasteland of jam and you get diamonds. Yes. Yes. Question is, was it a jam wasteland in the sense of like being a wasteland made of like fruit preserves, or was it a jam wasteland in the sense of like sick jams? I don't know. Both are reasonable answers. Entirely plausible. So you know. Man, the Jam Wasteland sounds so cool. Bro. I'm so glad I went to the Jam Wasteland. Hey, buddy. Everything done? Let's get going then. Next stop, Belasco Marsh. Marsh, not March. Ah! He's like, having a good time back there? Wait, Simon? Simon? Jam. That's another way to think of it, yes. This concert is dead. It's like a jam wasteland up in here. I like that the best, actually. Let's go with that one. That's the funniest answer. This concert's a jam wasteland. Hey, can you take me to a good place? Well then, let's go to a really good place. Hey, still head. I found the water kid. Doggone it. I'm bad at Simon Belmont. Hey there. Let's go to a really good place. Hee hee. Let's see, where am I? I'm at the Dead River. Near the town of Aldra. Okay. This is not Brahms Mansion. I meant to go to Brahms Mansion and I forgot. Alright, well, we're here now. We're here with the pit stain monsters. Ah! Die! More delicious Dr. Pepper. Rather semi-delicious, but better for me, supposedly. It's semi-delicious. I mean, truth be told, like, this zero sugar Dr. Pepper, you really, like, Dr. Pepper already had kind of a weird taste. So if you, like, just trick your brain into thinking it's regular Dr. Pepper, it's not terrible. Not terrible. MoeChicken approved. Not terrible. Poor Simon. He's going to die of his wounds at the end of this. 'Cause I'm a bad player. Ah, well. It's fine. He don't mind. Right, Simon? He's like, well, I'd rather not die of my wounds. Alright. There's secrets in here. I break down your door with water! Hello. Would you buy some of my laurels? No. I don't want your stinky laurels. They smell like... I don't know what a laurel smell like. Is laurel a food, or is it like the stuff you put on your head when you win an event? I never know. But presumably it's aromatic. I have to assume it is aromatic. Hello. If you find the patrolling man at the Strigoi Cemetery, ask for a silk bag. It will help you to live longer. But why? Why does owning this bag make me live longer? Hello. I've been waiting for a good-looking guy like you. Well, well. Thank you, madam. I see we're all dressed. Actually, there's a lot of women in this town. I just noticed that. Hello. I really hope to meet a smart man someday. That's not me. I keep dying, so. Maybe my descendant Just. Actually, Just is Simon's grandson. So yeah, maybe you'll appreciate my grandson. Oh, this guy. He can give me a red crystal. Hello, sir. Is that a blue sapphire? I've always wanted one. Let's swap. You can have my red ruby instead. I now have a red ruby. He's always wanted a sapphire. Always. That man, sapphire. Every day. It's a very purple-pink town. Do you think they painted it this way? I don't know. Madam, come back. I wish to talk to you. Hello. There's a clue to Dracula's riddle within the Brahms Mansion. Okay. Helpful to know. What about you? Go and hit the Deborah cliff with your head. See which one gives first. She's just being rude? She's just being mean. Yeah, alright. What's in here? Go hit your head on a rock, Simon Belmont. See if I care, Simon Belmont. Hit your head on that rock. Hello. What do you sell? Garlic! I sell garlic! I don't need garlic. Garlic is not terribly helpful in this game. Because you have the holy water. Like, you have the holy water and you have the sacred flame, both of which do pretty much the same thing as garlic. So, like, garlic is a bit stronger, sure, but why have so many things that do the same? Tonight, at midnight, the riverbank, be there. What? That's where the jam wasteland happens. Sorry, pal, no time today. Maybe tomorrow. Alright, this is just a town full of women. I never noticed that it's just women here. It's the town full of ladies. What town is this? Aldra. Town full of ladies. So next I think we're supposed to go to Deborah Cliff, right? I think that's our next stop. Because Deborah Cliff will bring us to Brahms Mansion. And then from there we can get to Strigoi Mansion. I believe is the case. Ah! Slimes! Do-do-do. Ha! What now? Ha-oh! I was like, ha! Got you! Da-da-da-da. Oh, jeez. Where am I? I'm in the Sodom Woods. No, not that. Sodom Woods brings me to the town of Ondol or the Strigoi Cemetery. Wasn't I supposed to get a Strigoi Cemetery for something? Oh yeah, the silk bag. That's important. Let's go to the Strigoi Cemetery. Da 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 da. Side note, if you like Bloody Tears and you want to hear like a cool if you want to hear a cool version of it, there are two I can recommend. One is from a of course, right when I get here. Where am I? I'm in the town of Ondol. I wanted to go to Strigoi Cemetery. I went the wrong way. Whatever. Yeah, one of them is from a tribute album that I found out about from the website KH Insider. I don't know what it's really called. I might dig it up if anyone's interested. But it was just this really cool, like, how would you describe it? It definitely referenced the original song, but if you didn't know it was referencing Bloody Tears, you might not immediately be able to realize it. But it was just this really cool, like, sort of synthy kind of song that, like, it built very slowly. Like, if you've ever heard the song Bolero by Riddle, that's a song that just kind of builds forever. This song was kind of like that, where it just kind of kept building for a long time. And when you finally got to the actual song, or when you finally got to the actual song, that's not a good way to put it, because the whole thing's the actual song. But it just kind of kept on like building and got more and more like impressive and dramatic. So that one's cool. The other one I would recommend is the version of Bloody Tears from the Game Boy game Castlevania Legends. And the reason that one's interesting is I think they had to alter part of it to make up for limitations of the Game Boy's sound chip. So like there's the part where it goes like da da do da da do da da do da 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 da. It couldn't hit those high notes on the Game Boy, and so instead it goes like da da do da da do da da do da da da. It's just like it reverses the order of the notes, and it's really neat. It's a really neat reversal if you're familiar with Bloody Tears and you want to hear like a special version. So just a little recommendation from Mo. As I'm killing green monsters because I'm stuck here. I don't want to leave yet because I want to get my health back up. And I think this is also this might also be the town where the guy says believe in magic and you'll be saved. So I want to see what he has to say. I'm curious what gem he has to drop on us, but eh. Kill. Oh, good. There we go. Man, that transition is so smooth, too. I wonder if it was difficult to program all that. Okay, this floor is just open. Let's see what we've got. Who just leaves their floor open? Seriously. What town is this? Ondol. Okay. Hello. How are you? This is the Morning Star. Its tip has a spiky steel ball. Oh, I don't have enough. How many do I need? Whoa. Oh, that's right. I gamed over. I forgot about that. Crap. Boo. Well, I need the Morning Star. So I guess I gotta get some hearts. Oh, I suck. Doggone it. That's really frustrating. Alright, what else we got in here? Hello, sir. Hello. Do you believe in God? Everything depends on that. So that's the believe in magic and you'll be saved guy. So it was probably censored to say magic rather than God. Huh. Well, that little bit of censorship made that comment very confusing. in the original. All right, what do you have to say? Ondol, Sodom Woods, Northern Jam Wasteland. Awesome. Is this also the town where the guy says, "Take my daughter, please"? Hello. Is this Death Star Lady? Is this Death Star Lady? Hi. There's so much battle in the world. I used to be a fighter myself, but I realized I need to live my life. Is that Death Star Lady? Because if so, that's a pretty disappointing retranslation. Why was she talking about Death Star before? Let me see if that's Death Star Lady. Town of Ondol. Town of Doina. No. Where's the Town of Ondol? Miss it? NES Game Atlas, tell me where to go. Town of Ondol. Oh, maybe it doesn't tell you. Oh well. Never mind. It's fine. Oh wait, that's the guy. I think this is the take my daughter please guy. Would you please take me with you? If I stay here, I will die. Oh no, this is don't make me leave, I'll die guy. Yeah. I can't take you with me, dude. I'm going to Sodom Woods. You don't want to go there. It's scary. It's scary there. Alright, what's this? But if I smash your wall with my magic water, I believe in magic and therefore I will be saved. I guess. Smash your second wall with my water. He's like, I can't believe you destroyed 2 of my walls. I don't want your laurels, dude. Alright, so are these guys, are these women or men? Can you tell? My buddy, like, my friend who I played this game with, called them, like, women. Oh, I thought they were, always thought they were dudes, though. I don't know, I just thought they were, like, old hooded men. Da, 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 da. Hi there. Hello. Not to brag, but when I was your age, I was really popular with the ladies. Bet you were, Mr. Guy with stick who looks like all the other guys with stick. Bet you were the cock of the walk. Hello. According to Aruba, there was a colossal diamond buried in a grave at the Strigoi Cemetery. Really? I already have a diamond. Another diamond? Whoa, look at my cool whip. There's a hermit living in a cave who can power a whip and if you use it better. It's true, he can give you fire whip. I'm really gonna be sad if that was Death Star Lady. You know? That's so much more boring than don't look into the Death Star or you'll die. Because that was definitely a line that I always wonder, it's like, what could this possibly have originally been, if not a Star Wars reference? Like, we met Believe in Magic and You'll Be Saved guy. We met Don't Make Me Stay, I'll Die guy. We haven't met Take My Daughter Please guy yet. We also haven't met I don't think we've met Death Star Lady, but maybe we did. I haven't really used the gold knife very much. Oh, dude, the gold knife leaves like a fire trail? Bro, that's awesome. I didn't know that. Should use that more often. Whee! 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 Well, this is Deborah Cliff. I didn't mean to come here. I can't do this yet. I need to have the Morning Star. I need to have the Morning Star. I am not well prepared to go to Deborah Cliff yet. Yeah. Oh wait, I'm using up. I shouldn't use that. I'm using up my my hearts as I do it. That was dumb of me. Oh well, whatever. It's fine. It's fine. There's just mummies. Just mummies wandering around in this wasteland. For some reason. Do 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 do. Do, 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 do. We are so not gonna get the good ending. We might not even get the medium ending. We might get the bad ending. I've died a lot, and you know, it's taken me a long time to do this. More hurts, please. More lovely hurts, please. Hello, mummy. This might not be the best way to do this. Whoa! That mummy kicked my butt, dude! Freaking mums. Straight up killed a bro. Die, you. Get out. Mummy. Mummy. Death. He's like, joke's on you. Oh, I lost all of my hearts. I just thought about that. Ow, no. Oh my goodness. That sucks. Oh boy. And I don't know of a good grinding spot like in that first town. This isn't terrible. Just gotta find that spawn point. But this one, it's the right side of that door. It's when he spawns. And how much is each one of those worth? 5? So I'm at 30. At 30. It's 4? A big heart is worth or a big half heart is worth 4? What a weird denomination. Why not just make it 5? What's wrong with you? This might be as good a time as any to backtrack back to Brahms Mansion, I guess. Oh wait, I wanted to check out Strigoi Graveyard. That's right. Let's go check that out. It's not very much fun to just grind. Let's go find other things. Yeah. Again, like, having seen the actual what the clue was supposed to be, it's a lot clearer what you're supposed to do with the crystal. Like, you look, no, not that. Like, you look at this, you go down to the clues, and it's like, click on whirlwind, press a ruby against the Deborah cliff, kneel, and wait for a whirlwind. That's so much clearer than wait for a spirit at Deborah cliff, you know? Like, you can actually figure out what's going on with that clue, but oh well. I mean, I don't blame them too much. Like, you think about what translators were working with back in this time period. They really didn't have much capacity, and they did their best. You know, they did as well as they could. It didn't work out sometimes, but hey, it happens. At least I don't blame them. Honestly, it's a miracle that that Nintendo games work at all. Like, you think about like the capacity of an NES game, which is what, like 1 megabyte, I think. Is that what the capacity of an NES game is? Something like that. 1 megabyte. Not a whole lot of capacity to accomplish much of anything. And they made some amazing games out of that. Truly impressive. Oh wait, is this the other side of the world? Am I where I think I am? Hang on. No, I don't think so. There's a different place. Ooh, that slime was beefy. Boy, that's got to be embarrassing and, you know, heaven or wherever Simon Belmont winds up. He's like, I was killed by a slime. I'm really embarrassed. I'm glad I had an extra life. Alright, now I need to put down some garlic. There we go. This guy's like, I love garlic. Please accept this gift, a fine silk bag. Thank you. How does it? You can change whips in this game? Holy moly. Super Mario was meant to be the last Nintendo game? What do you mean? Like they weren't planning to make any other games? Hadn't they only made that game? I don't think I understand what you mean. Dead. Man, I'm running low on lives. I'm gonna run out of lives again before I can get 200. I mean, they meant to make a more powerful system. After the original Super Mario Brothers? I think maybe I don't understand what you mean. Super Mario was the final black box game. You mean it was the last game that Nintendo didn't let people know the specs of their cartridges? Like, do you mean black box in the sense that, like, they hid information about it? Or black box in the sense of, like, it was released in a black box? I'm sorry. I'm not getting it. I'm not understanding what you're meaning. Well, I'm not following your meaning here. Nighttime. Well, these weird, like, mannequin-looking dudes give me a lot of hearts. I can't believe they let you change your weapon in this. That's so cool. I mean, I don't know why you'd ever change your weapon, really, but it's still neat. Alright, close now. Black box game, let's see. Oh, really? Oh, so the original launch set that had like the whatever series, like the adventure series, sports series and all that. So I guess I don't really know anything about the early launch titles of the Nintendo. I always thought Super Mario Brothers came out first. Shows what I know, I guess. All right, we reached 200. We can now head on. That's interesting. And yes, Sega did release a lot of consoles. Oop. Oh, jeez. Leave me alone. Slime. I learned something new. Thank you very much. There's like a lot of stuff about the very early days of video games that I don't know anything about. Because like I first started playing video games with the NES. That was my first system. And because of that, I have a tendency to think of it as being near the beginning of video games, but I watched this a Netflix documentary about video game history, and like, man, there were so many systems before the NES came out. Like, video games stretched back way farther back than I ever realized. It was very interesting. It is sort of funny though, as the series moved forward and got to like eras I recognized, I actually lost interest in it. Like, I was more interested in the things I didn't know than learning about systems I was familiar with. All right. Give me that Morning Star, please. Your first system was the Tandy TRS-80. That's cool. I've heard of a Tandy before, but I don't think I've ever seen one before. What kind of stuff did you play on? And then the Atari XI series? I don't think I know the XI series. Oh yeah, I got the Morning Star. It's longer. Yay! All right, now we can go to Deborah Cliff. Tandy. Whenever I think of Tandy, I always think of Strong Bad Emails. Did you ever watch those? He checked his emails on a Tandy for a little while, which was funny. I feel so powerful with my Morning Star now. It has a spiky ball in the end, and that's exciting to me. Yes. Da, 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 da. All right, I will get my crystal. One woman said for me to hit my head against the wall and see which breaks first. So I'm gonna do that. Hit my head on the wall. All right, I'll try the other thing. I played Missile Command and Pac-Man. I don't know Moon Patrol though. What's that about? Let's see, which mansion is this? Oh, this is Bartley Mansion, or Bathory. You made yourself a Homestar shirt recently? Like, you mean you took a red shirt and put a star on it, or something else? Strong Bad. I tried to do a Strong Bad impression for a series that is going to be coming out towards Christmas. And I was like, that's the best Strong Bad I could do. I hope you enjoyed how terrible it was. Because that voice, I have no idea how Matt Chapman did that voice, because it just murders your throat. It's terrible for your throat. All right, where am I supposed to go for this thing? I'm in. I guess it's called the Bodley Mansion. In the original. There's Brahms Mansion. No, I need the Bodley Mansion. This one's big. Okay. Okay. Alright, I think I know where it is. Ah, rocks! Coconuts! Deadly coconuts! Help! There's no point to being over here. Why did I come this way? Just to explore. Just to find cool stuff. That's what Simon Belmont's all about. Finding cool stuff. Yeah, I have enough money for a steak. I need to invest in an oak steak. Ah, my body. Nope. This is not where you go to invest in an oak steak. I just kind of thought it would be. Kill. Oh boy. I'm gonna no time. No, we've gone over 2 hours, but whatever. I want to beat this. We're just gonna beat this tonight. Whatever. Take as long as it needs to. I mean, this is this is Mansion 4 of 5, so we'll get there. It'll be fine. What does the eyeball do for you? I thought the eyeball showed you hidden passages, but that was a hidden passage and it didn't show it to me in any way. What's the eyeball do for you? Are there like hidden monsters at some point in this game that you need the eyeball for? If so, I don't remember that. Oh, I want that. How do I get up there? I want that. Oh, there we go. This convenient staircase will bring you upstairs. It's amazing. Oh, so you made like inverse Homestar or something? Treading through the cursed swamp without living laurels is perilous. Well, I already kind of knew that one, honestly. Ah, ah, ah! Don't stab me, bro. Don't you be poking me in the butt. Poking me in my Simon Bupkis. Get out of here, you. Get thee hence. Die. Feel my burning purpose. Ah. Near this wall. Oh, there we go. Oh, hello, sir. Would you like to invest in an oak steak? I will. Thank you. Ah! Yeah, I don't feel like the I don't feel like the Eye of Dracula has really helped me at all. I don't know. I don't know what it's supposed to do for you. But whatever. Time to possess another Dracula thing. Ha! You now possess Dracula's nail. Now, I do know what the nail does. The nail allows you to smash open things that you would normally have to use holy water on. So, like walls that you would... It's a Satan reference. His eyes are sixes. Oh. I get it. I could say that. Yeah. Upside down star. 3-6 eyeballs. Spooky dooky. You eat the mark of the beast. Can't really do a Homestar either. It's a shame. That man had quite a talent with voices. Truly amazing. And so memorable too, you know? It's like he invented all these voices that like are so like iconic and memorable. It's awesome. Uh-oh. Okay, good. Aha! Easy way out of the mansion. Exactly. Where am I now? I'm in the Utah Upper Road. Hooray! Does this work here? Doesn't seem like it. I'm at the Lake of Utah. Oh, well, thank you. I don't think it was that good of a voice, but I tried. If you want to do a homestar, you just have to kind of... Well, no, that doesn't sound like him anymore. Whatever. I'm not gonna press my luck. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. And I will stop there. Ooh, it's all gray here. In the Wicked Ditch. Bro, do you know about the Wicked Ditch? Bro. Ah. Fired like heck. Hello. This is a wicked ditch, man. Oh, hello. You again? Last year I was hoping never to see you again. Oh, this is the cool town where everyone hates Simon. Is this Death Star Lady? Are you Death Star Lady?
Go away.
Well, no, I don't think you are. Don't think you are, lady. Doina. Northern Bridge, Wicked Ditch. So what's cool about this place is the idea is that this is actually very close to Castlevania itself. And so everyone here, Simon came by and said he was going to save everybody. And then it's your fault that it's not safe around here anymore. Please just leave and never return. Everyone believes that Simon is actually responsible for the curse. Isn't that cool? I think that's a neat thing. When you go to Ruba's mansion, you must find the rosary. Do not exit without it. Okay. Hello, Mike Belmont. Heal me. Thank you. Oh, a hole. What's down here, I wonder? What do you have to sell, sir? Sir? Buy some little... Yeah, I'll buy some. I'll take some laurels. They're more useful than garlic. By the way, just to check, can you hear my voice and the game reasonably well? Like, is the audio good? I want to make sure of that. For that matter, also, does it feel synced? Because I had to sync it beforehand, and I don't know how well it went. I always want to make sure my audio sounds nice, because audio is a very important part of the experience. Oh, jeez. Get out of here. Is this the way to Castlevania? I may not need to be here yet. Northern Bridge. That's the town of Yomi. What is this? Bathory Mansion. Okay, no, I'm going the right way. Yeah. There's the ruins. I'm going the right way. Okay. That's fine. Oh no, it's the dreaded weird nose monsters. Look out, they have weird noses. Ow. Ow, stop. Okay, hang on. What now? I have a rib. Can't stop a man that has a rib. I got ribs for days, bro. More swamp. You can't stop a man with a rib. Ha ha ha. Nope, not that way. Where am I now? I'm in Dora Woods. I feel as though I should explore a woods, but there's Ruba Mansion. How did I not get to Ruba Mansion? Game audio is maybe a little low, but the voice is clear. Audio looks synced. Okay, cool. Maybe I'll bring up the audio in the game a little bit. And thank you very much. Getting back to my horribly unpopular streams, usually, it's very nice to actually have someone present to do audio questions with, because usually it's just me. So thank you very much. Where am I now? I'm still in Dora Woods. I'm still in Dora Woods. Here's a bridge to somewhere. Dennis March Pit. Berkeley Mansion. I don't... Why did I not get to Ruba Mansion? What did I not do? Hang on, what did I not do? I feel like I'm forgetting something. I mean, obviously I haven't been to Ruba Mansion, but geographically it doesn't look like it's in the place I expect it to be. Ah! Yeah, for a while I actually thought today was my 5th anniversary, my channel, but it is not. It is my 4th. Still, 4 years. 4 years of doing this. Seems pretty amazing when I think about it. Is this the area that's pointless? There's an area that's completely pointless, and I don't remember if this is it or not. This kind of feels like it. Oh, hello. Who are you? Oh, hi? I'm doing sightseeing. Relaxing after some hard work translating the game and all. Oh. Okay. So yeah, this is probably the pointless area. I mean, I'm not that bitter about it. I just sort of wish that, I don't know. It's definitely one of those things that, like, when you first start out, you think that, you sort of foolishly think, oh, everyone's gonna like my streams, and then, or my streams and my videos. You know, I've been doing videos for 4 years, and then you're like, oh, nobody cares because YouTube's huge. But it's fine. I enjoy it. All right, where did I go wrong? Dora Woods. East Bridge. Yeah, it just sort of says that This should have been there already. I'm all mixed up. I'm all mixed about what such is the internet. This is absolutely true. Was I just supposed to go to Yummy? Then you go to Yummy and then you go to Castlevania. So no, not supposed to go to Yummy. Was I already supposed to go to Laruba? I'm all mixed up now. Where was Laruba? Aljiba? How did I miss that? Alright, well, good news. We missed something a long time ago. So now we are definitely not going to get that good ending. Oops. Wow, okay. I guess that explains why it felt weird that I found death before Carmilla. Also goes to show I don't remember this game quite as well as I thought I did. Oopsie doodle. Ow, my body. So yeah, we're here way too early. It's funny though, I thought that there were 2 mansions up on the cliff, like that you got to after you went to Deborah Cliff. But I guess I'm wrong. Ow, my body. Stop that. Fishman. Stop, Fishman. Stop. Ah. Hold. So in unrelated news, I mentioned earlier in the stream that this is, I got this in a package of games from OCD Reproductions. I also got a copy of For the Frog, the Bell Tolls, which I'm very excited about because I heard about that through Did You Know Gaming, but I don't really know anything about the game other than that it uses the engine from Link's Awakening. So I'm really curious what the game is actually like. And I'm going to find out. Ow. Bro, you and your wiggly nose. Stop. So I'm excited to play that one too. And who knows? If it's good and it seems like it'll be a good series, maybe I'll put it on here sometime. Just throwing water at this dude over and over again. He's like, where's this coming from? Stop. It's raining on me. Yeah, I should definitely have the flame whip by now. Man, I can't believe I missed so much. I'm very disappointed in that. I didn't mean to do that. Nuts. Oh well. Whatever. I can't believe we had a speedrunner on here earlier. That's pretty impressive. Oh yeah, I'm playing this on real hardware. Playing this on a real NES. Well, let me amend that. I'm playing it on a an analog NT, but that plays actual hardware. It's not emulation. I will always prefer to play it on the actual hardware in general. That's why I buy stuff like reproduction carts and such. It's just more interesting to me. Like, I even kind of like cringe isn't the right word, but I even kind of have a little bit of aversion to like upscalers and anything that makes the experience feel inauthentic to me. Bugs me. So like, I know it's not everyone's favorite, but I intentionally use like old analog receivers and stuff with my systems because it's just, I don't know, that feels right to me. Well, now wait a minute. Oh, okay. Well, I didn't go here. It's more fun for me to, you know, get to use the originals. That's cool to me. I find that fascinating, so when available, I will get originals. And that's why OCD Reproductions has been so helpful, is that the previous people that I used to get reproduction carts were like really slow. Like, it took them forever to make something. Like, yeah, I might be waiting months before I got something. With these people, it's like maybe a week. It's pretty good. Hello. I will give your morning star the power to burn away evil. Thanks, bro. Your destiny bears great weight. Go before it is too late. Godspeed. Thank you, sir. Oh, fire whip. Is there anything else here? I think that's all that's in this area. I can't believe I completely missed the Ruba Mansion. I'm really wondering where it was. I had to buy a cassette deck. That's awesome. So cool. Have you ever had an 8-track player? I feel like 8-tracks are another one of those things that's like, it was just a little bit before my time, so I really don't know anything about them. Actually, for a long time, I thought they were called A-tracks. Like, the letter A and then track. But I think it's supposed to be 8-track. I guess I still don't necessarily know which is correct, so never mind. All I really know about them is that they stick out of the system. So like, you put it in the little receiver, and then it kind of like sticks out of the front. Well, now I'm a little confused. How do I get back down? Well, I messed something up. somewhere. I went the wrong way at some point, and I don't know where it was. So what you getting a cassette deck for? You just got some cassettes you want to play, or you're gonna record stuff, or what you gonna do with it? Oh, backtracking. Ow, my body. Stop that. And the fishmen are way stronger here. They're green. That's how you know they're strong. And they turn green. Ah! 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 Ingredients! Ah! Blimey! They have rubber rollers in the carts that melted over time? Really? That's fascinating. Old tech is so cool. Yomi, the Vlad Graveyard and the Dora Woods. So Yomi, I think, is the dead town. I don't think there's anyone here, if I remember correctly. It's just empty. Oh, cool. I cannot say that I'm much of an audiophile, honestly. Like, I remember, I was a backer on Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, and one of the things that... Oh, hello. How are you, madam?
Let's live here together.
No. Purge you. Yeah, one of the things they gave you was like the soundtrack, and you could either get it as like an MP3 or a FLAC. And I had to research what a FLAC was. I was like, what is this? What is this FLAC thing? What do I do with this? And, you know, it's supposed to have like, you know, it's supposed to sound better or like be uncompressed or whatever. And I was like, I can't tell. I'm sorry, my stupid ears can't figure it out. So, you know. I've heard the same thing is supposed to be true of records, that like records are supposed to sound better, but once again, I can't tell. Well, crap. They were loops and any to rewind. 8 tracks refer to 4 stereo tracks that you can switch between on the fly. You can switch between stereo tracks? Like, not audio channels, right? You mean like songs, right? So if it's like audio channels, that's fascinating. If it's songs, that's pretty cool too. Hello up there. I see you, bird. Shaking that thing. Eh. Come on, bird. Look at these two little hopping ghosts behind me. Ugh. Oh, the songs. Yeah. Still cool. Still a cool thing. Dang it, man. I am so frustrated that I now have to backtrack because I just missed the Ruba Mansion. I mean, I don't blame the game. I obviously didn't explore enough at some point, but I also don't really know how to get back down from here. Because I've never done this. I usually find the Ruba Mansion first. How do I get down from here? The Dennis Marsh Pit. There's nowhere I could go from there, was there? Hang on. Oh, do you just duck again in front of the the mansion. Maybe that's it. I'll try that. I've never known if jumping helps, but I always do it. It just feels like being in the deadly water for less time is good for you. Is that clock at the top the real world timer? Like the in-game timer? If so, I never picked up on that. I always thought it was a game timer, but I could see it being an in-game timer. If that 12, if that first number is actually the number of days, that would be interesting too. Are we back in the Wicked Ditch? I think we are, right?
Yeah, Wicked Ditch.
Wicked Ditch. So cool. And it's 18, which I could perceive as 6 o'clock. So maybe that is like a timer, like a day clock. That's fascinating. I had no idea about that. Also, those harpies look really silly on the ground. Alright, I'm gonna try to... Nope, not that. Nope. Does this work? I don't think this is working. I don't think this is working. Alright. Maybe there was somewhere I could go over here that I missed. Let's see. Alright, so we come here. We duck. Try ducking here. Right, so this goes down. Where am I now? I'm in the Lake of Utah. Go over here. Go over here. Go over here. We're here again, but I don't think there's anything you're supposed to do here. Maybe there's another exit at the top or something. Like, whenever I think about this place, I always just assume it's, Oh, it is bringing me towards the Ruba, though. Also, check it out. I never picked up on this, but we're currently underneath the lake, and that's why there's, like, water dripping out of the walls. That's so neat. You see, just by having a map, there are like all these little design decisions that I just didn't pick up on, and now I do. That's cool. I like that. Where am I now? Yep, there's a whole other area we didn't go to. All right, well, I feel a little bit better about my sense of direction in this game. The Devious Woods? Dude, welcome to the Devious Woods, y'all. Ow, where a fire dude is. Ow. Curse you, fireman. Oh, I like being in the Devious Woods. Feeling so cool. Feeling so cool in the Devious Woods. They're not very thick, admittedly. It's a pretty sparse wooded area, but you know how it is. So devious. It's always plotting. Those fire guys kind of remind me of the fire guys from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 1. Admittedly. The Joma Swamp. Okay. I don't have any laurels. Fudge. Ah, it burns. Ah, it burns. Dead. Yeah. Oh, it burns. Oh, it burns. Nope. Oh, it burns. It burns. Burning, burning water. Burning water hurts. Kill this guy. The burning water hurts. It's a leech. Yay. Nope, died. Doggone it. All right, back in I go. It's a leech. Flying leech jumps out of the burning water. Ooh, suck on your head. Suck on your head. Look at the sky. It glows with the pain in Simon's heart. Oh, good. I found a mansion. Is it almost daytime? Oh, good. It is. All right, we finally found the Ruba Mansion. Cool. How many things are there here? Let's see. Oh, this is the last mansion I usually go to. That's kind of weird that you fight Carmilla second, because I always think of Death as like Dracula's best bud. It seems weird that you would fight Carmilla later, right? Maybe that's just me. I don't know. There are no scrolls here, actually. Well, then how many am I missing? There's supposed to be 13. Well, I don't know. I want to find them all, though, kind of, you know? I might have to go track them down after we're done here. I want to know all the clues to Dracula's riddle. Oh, I wonder what Ken Masters would think of my absolutely terrible speed run here. It was still cool to have a speed runner on the horn. Just have anybody here is nice. Thank you, Cybernator. It's just such a different experience when you have someone to talk to. Because I mean, like when I do it by myself, it's like recording a really long episode, which is also fine, but definitely a different sort of experience, and that's cool. Is the ceiling messed up? Yeah, it is. Okay. Ha! Where do you think Simon stores all those little glass vials? He's got a ton of them. He keeps on throwing them. Like it ain't no thing. Herp. Get out of here, you. Alright, this is just silly. Let me just kill you. I want to say you go up first, and you exit from the bottom. So, let's assume that's correct, and climb the tower. I'm glad to help. Now! Still looking for the, Oh, there we go. Can you help me to invest? I found the brokerage. Thank you. I refuse. I don't think that market's gonna go up at all. Especially once Dracula's gone, then people aren't gonna be buying oak stakes at all. It's a terrible long-term investment, but Simon Belmont here is just shorting it. What happened just now? Can't you go through here somewhere? Fairly certain you can get out of bounds somewhere here. And you're like supposed to. It's like an intentional out of bounds thing. Right? You jump through the wall or something? Something like that. Ah! Because right up here somewhere is the guy who, like, just gives you full laurels, I remember. There's, like, someone who's just like, take my laurels, please! Yeah, this person. Please have these laurels. God bless you. Oh, thank you. That's so nice. Let's use one of them laurels before that spike pokes me in the butt. There we go. Yeah. Excellent usage of laurels. They made me hardy. Ha ha ha. That's a terrible joke. Ha ha ha. Oh, hello, Carmilla. Let's see. I wonder if I can use this against you. Actually, it doesn't appear to have hit you at all, so no. You just cry bloody tears. I remember thinking that mask there is like one of the coolest things in this game. The crying mask. It just looks so neat. It's like such a cool thing. And look at it. It's so neat looking. Are those ever going to stop bouncing around, or are they pretty much just going to do that forever? Oh, hey, this worked really well. Yeah! Crucifix! Obtain the rosary. Alright, call it what you want. And it's time to possess the last Dracula thing! Hooah! Got it. I now possess Dracula's ring. So here's something I didn't know about this game. There are actually a total of 6 Dracula things and not 5. According to the manual, Simon already has... Yeah, it does kind of look like a Phanto. It's just so neat looking. Oh, I love it. A really cool mask. For whatever, it reminds me of the Phantom of the Opera mask a little bit. Yeah, so according to the manual, there were 6 Dracula things, and Simon kept one of them. That's why in both Castlevania Symphony of the Night and Castlevania Harmony of Dissonance, you collect 6 instead of 5. I remember thinking that was like a cool thing. I really like that. So that said, I can't remember which one we're missing. Let's see. We have the rib, the heart, the eye, the nail. Oh, we don't have the tooth. That's the one. That's the one that apparently Simon kept. He wanted a trophy after he killed Dracula. He's like, I'm gonna take one of his teeth. I'm just gonna keep one of his teeth. Because that's just the kind of vampire hunter he is. Vampire hunter and casual dentist. I can't believe I made it out of here without dying. Oh, jeez. He's like, you made it out of here without dying, did you? Yes. Shut up. Alright, where am I now? This is... I'm in Jova Swamp. So, let me see now. Where are the various scrolls? There should be 13. I'll take out my game atlas. Let's see. One, 2, 3, 4. Five. 6, 7, All right, this doesn't have all of them.
Crap. I wonder where they all are then. Fudge, 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 fudge.
Well, I don't know.
Where am I now?
I'm in the Joma Swamp.
Okay.
I also really like the names of the places in this game, you know? Joma Swamp. Devious Woods. Devious Woods is a little silly, admittedly. Welcome to the Devious Woods. You don't want to be here. Ow, dude. So we are back at the Silver Dagger area. We've now looped the world. That's cool. In the Tower of Algebra, Lake of Yuba, Rover Mansion, Forest of Algebra, Dennis Forest. So we gotta get back to Berkeley Mansion. I missed some stuff there. Want to learn to fight? You should fight in more unfamiliar places. Okay. A little strange, but okay. Do. You know what? We have the internet right here. I'm not going to be happy if I don't get all the clues. So we're just gonna look up where all the clues are. And you get to come with me. Blip. Welcome to my desktop. Castlevania II clue locations. Location chosen by Satan? No, not gonna look that one up. 13 clues. Okay. Find Berkeley Mansion. Berkeley Mansion, Berkeley Mansion. So the one we don't have is this one, I think. Town of Veros. All right, where's Veros? Didn't we just pass Veros? That's Algebra. Oh, no, we're heading towards Veros. Satan, your man. All right, switch back. Bleh. Okay, yeah, we're heading towards Veros. Whoop, doggone. Da 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 da. That's not what I wanted to use. I'm using up all of them. Ah, boy. Ah, boy. 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 Is this the way for Town of Veros? Or does this lead... No, this leads to Berkeley Mansion. Oh, don't go the way. Ow. Oh wait, where am I? I'm in the Algebra Woods. Am I in the Algebra Woods? Where am I? I'm in the Forest of Algebra. Yeah, so somewhere in here is a clue. This is the one we tried to find before. Crap. Where's the clue? Clue. Oh, gone. Stop, spider. I'm doing things. Leave me alone. I'm in Dabby's path now. I don't want to be here. I want to go back to Algebra Woods. Unless this is also the Algebra Woods. No, this is the Dinas Forest. Forest of Dinas. Dinas! I was about to congratulate myself on dodging both of those webs, and then they hit me. Where is it? This thing says there should be a clue somewhere here, and the guy in town also said there should be a clue in here somewhere, so there should be a clue here somewhere. But where? Where could the clue be? That is what we must find. The clue. The clue must be found, yes, so we can see the retranslation. It's very important to me. It's the kind of thoroughness I like to try to accomplish. Doggone. Get out of here, you. Where could it be? That's the town. Okay, so Algebra Woods isn't very big. It's 3 screens wide, so there's a limit to the places it could be. So where is it? Is the question. Where is it? I wonder if there are other means of collecting it. Like, all I know to do is you know, purify the earth with water, really. I don't know what else you can do to try to find hidden things. Get out of here, you. I want to find the 13 clues of Scooby-Doo. Remember the show, The 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo? That was the one with Victor Price in it, I think. The 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo. I want to say it only had, like, Shaggy, Scooby, Daphne, and, like, one other character or something. Where am I now? Oh. I'm in Algebra Cavern. That's not where I want to be. Find an Algebra Woods. Okay, where in Algebra Woods? Flamboyant and spooky Vincent Price. I love Vincent Price. He was so much fun. What a fun dude. This is not helping me. Spooky. Erg. I must know. I must know. This is bothering me. Who's the Dracula's realm? Oh, here we go. This might help. Oh my gosh, really? Really? Okay. Well, we're gonna track them down with this guide I just found. It actually shows the screenshots of where they're all found, so that's helpful. It was in that first area with the water. But it was like in a weird place, so we'll find it. I wouldn't have known to look there, though. You see, this is going to be the definitive playthrough of Castlevania 2. The definitive playthrough wherein we undoubtedly get the worst ending. In which we inevitably get the worst ending. But it will be definitive. Because that's what I've decided it is. It's right here, apparently. Look at that. I never would have spotted that. Nonsense. When the sapphire hits the sand of a lake beach, the earth will swallow the water. See, it even explains to you how to use the blue crystal. Oh my gosh. The original, apparently, translation was to replenish earth, kneel by the lake with the blue crystal. That still would help, though, admittedly. So that's cool. It's cool to know that even the original had a hint about what you're supposed to do, because you know that was one of those like that's one of the common gripes is like, how are you supposed to know how to do this insane thing where you just duck at the side of a cliff? Well, because the game tells you to do it. It's actually in the game, and that's cool. All right, so what was Brahms Road? What's this? The road to Brahms Mansion will be heralded by dispelling the curse of the river. Okay. Where was Brahms Mansion? Which one was that? Oh, that was the one where we had to use the heart. Okay. All right, so next up on our exciting quest is to go to Berkeley Mansion. Oh, good. The morning's... I just realized something, though. Oh, no, I just realized something. Like, it took me this long to realize it. Because of the way the time transitions work, that line is no longer in the game. The morning sun has vanquished the horrible night, and what a horrible night to have a curse. Oh, I'm kind of sad about that, actually. Like, I mean, I have to admit that, like, seeing those every time did kind of waste your time a little bit, but... Oh, they're such iconic lines, and now they're gone. Oh. A little saddened by that. Alright, back in we go. I like that the various crystals are backward compatible. It was very helpful. Alright, which one did I miss? Let's see. I think I missed this one. The flame flickers in the ring of fire. Okay, so that's near the exit. Kill. Simon's like, I am way over leveled for this place. Got me a flame whip. Too strong. Too strong, Simon Belmont. Much power. Simon's like, you want to go? I'm beefy as heck. Get out of here, dude. Go. Ah! Fudge. Hup. Ow. Didn't I just say I was beefy as heck? Getting all beat up and stuff. I don't even need that heart. Half a heart? Not for me. I'm Simon Belmont. Oh yeah. Ha! Ha! I have vials for days. Vials! Ow! That guy threw his femur at me and it hurt. So I think it's right here. No? Maybe downstairs? Alright, slime. Yeah, there we go. Even today, the sacred flame rests in a realm hidden from sunlight. Well, That makes more sense than the original clue, which was a flame flickers inside the ring of fire. But it still doesn't help very much. It's still like, I guess it tells you that it's like in a cave, but... Alright, where's next? So next up, we gotta go to the town of Algebra? Do I have this one already? I think I'm missing this one. So yeah, we got to go back to algebra. No. All right, back out we go. This exciting definitive playthrough wherein we get all of the clues to Dracula's riddle. Yes. Very definitive. It's not at all me wasting your time. It's me being definitive. So definitive. Do you want to know how to define this game? Well, watch this playthrough. Then you'll know. You'll be like, Simon's Quest. Oh, that was that one Mo stream. That's what it is. Yeah. There you go. It's definitive. Oh my goodness. I remember, so growing up, I used to love to read the comic strip Calvin and Hobbes. Still like it a lot, although I've read it so many times that I basically have it memorized. So, kind of lost a little bit of the punch when you know all of the punchlines. But I remember in the three like big like I guess big book versions of Calvin and Hobbes had names like authoritative, definitive, and like I think essential. And apparently Bill Watterson did that because like as kind of a joke, like, you know, nothing about my comic strip should ever be referred to in these terms. So he intentionally used like really overblown terms for his comic strip, which is funny. I loved that comic though. What's particularly interesting about it for me is that like generally like Calvin and Hobbes was a comic that had like a lot going on for adults. Like a lot of the writing was pretty, I don't want to say adult, that makes it sound like it's perverting, but it had a lot of jokes for adults in it. And but it also was just so like imaginative and well drawn that like I just loved it as a kid. Like it just made me want to be imaginative. I love Spaceman Spiff and Stupendous Man and all that. So cool. A great comic. All right. Where is it? Okay, it's not in this room. How's the editing coming? Getting some work done? Got your karaoke done? Huh. I definitely never would have found this one. There is an old gypsy who lives in southern Jam Wasteland. She has a giant diamond. The original was an old gypsy holds a diamond in front of Deborah Cliff. Well, we did go to the Jam Wasteland, and we did get a diamond, so it's all good. So now we're good for... So the next one is After the Whirlwind. Okay. Oh, okay. There's one in at Deborah Cliff. Okay. Cool. Yeah. All right, so we got to go back to Deborah. Wait, no, that doesn't make sense. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. After Whirlwind. Oh. This is Whirlwind. No, wait, no. That's not right. Did I miss the first one, maybe? I missed the very first clue. Learning DaVinci Resolve. What is DaVinci Resolve? Yep, I missed the first one, which was in the town of Viros. Okay, got it. Let's go get that. I don't get to Viros from here? Okay, I'm actually going to have to pass back through Viros, so it's fine. Ba, ba, ba. Ow. Just like walk out of town, get hit by a skeleton, and bounce back into town. Like, oh, you must have hit the skeleton, eh? Should be a little bit more careful out there next time. It's dangerous. There are spiders and skeletons. They lurk in the woods. Oh, it's true. So here's a question about the world of Castlevania 2. You know, the people over in that one town totally... Which town was it? It was... Was it... It was Doina. People over in Doina were all like, you are the cause of all of this. Which suggests to me that the idea of monsters wandering around like this is free editing software like video editing or... like what sort of editing? Yeah, it suggests to me that, like, the idea of there being monsters here is relatively new for Doina. Which also sort of suggests the idea that previously the monster problem was kind of isolated to Castlevania itself. Which brings up an interesting idea of the nature of Dracula's curse. Is the idea that the monsters are wandering more widespread, looking for Dracula's parts, and that's why they're monsters further away from the castle? Oh, it's a video software? Yeah, the one I use is like one of those too. Is DaVinci good? I mean, I've been pretty happy with the one I've got, but always interested in learning something new, I guess. But yeah, like I found myself wondering if maybe the reason that this game takes place over a wider like stretch of the world is because like there's not like a central, like Dracula's not drawing monsters to him. His parts being separated means that the monsters are going everywhere. I don't know. Just a theory. Just a little idea. I have no way of knowing if it's true or not. It could be cool, though. Alright, Sunshine, come on. I've now come to believe that that first number up there is actually the number of days. So, I've taken quite a few days. Graphics card intensive. Okay. I tried learning Premiere once, and you know, I had the same problem with Premiere that I originally had with Photoshop. All those Adobe products are very impressive, but I find them very challenging to get into. Like sometimes having all the tools in the world kind of creates like a choice paralysis thing where you're like, there's too much here. There's too much here. I'm scared. I'm gonna go back to the easier program. That's actually why for many years I used GIMP instead of Photoshop. I still use GIMP more than Photoshop, but I don't know. Premiere was kind of like that. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. It's scary. Learning curve too high. Whoa. That was cool. All right. Hello, Mike Belmont. How are you? Thank you. Thank you, sir. Nope, not you. Just smash down his wall. Simon walks into this guy's house, breaks down his wall with holy water, and then he's like, oh wait, no, not you. And just like walks back out. And then he's like, but my property damage. Why would you do this thing to me, Simon? Yep, definitely didn't get that one. One peek into a crystal is all you need to reveal a path in Brahms Mansion. Man, that's so cool. I'm learning all kinds of things right now. I had no idea about that clue. GIMP all the way? Yeah, I liked GIMP for a long time. I was actually working on a piece in GIMP earlier tonight. It's just... It's simpler and it has a lot of the same things. So unless you're doing like really high-end stuff, you probably don't need Photoshop. GIMP is free. So much more helpful. But, you know, to each their own. If you like it, go for it. Adobe's the industry standard for a reason. It's funny because at my regular job, I'm fortunate in that the company I worked for was willing to spring for the Adobe Creative Suite, and so like I have access to that at work, not at home. And like it's amazing how hard it is to convince people that it is the industry standard. Surprisingly, like whenever I'm working with like an outside company, it's like trying to convince, like they'll be like, can you give it to us as a PowerPoint? And I'm like, you're basically just saying, can you make this with like sticks and like banging rocks together? It's like, let me use the tools, please. Let me use the tools that are useful. Oh my goodness. That's fine. I love my work, so I can't complain too much, but it does bug me sometimes. You make it a PowerPoint? You make it editable. We want to change your work later on and then still attribute it to you. I'm just complaining now. I'm sorry. I'm complaining because we gotta do a lot of backtracking. But it's gimpy. It's all gimpy. It walks with a smaller leg. Ow. Oh, I was like, why do I not have my shield out? Shield. Also, this does not look like a rib. That is pretty much a shield. Does not make sense to me. Ha! Ah, it burns! It burns! Ah! Okay, I'm fine. Kill. Hey, buddy. Take me to a good place. So is the good place like the town of, which town am I going towards? Is the town of Aldra the good place? Like, why is he so sinister about crossing the river? I'll take you to a good place. Thank you. Thank you for bringing me. Oh, I get it now. I bet I understand it. This is the town where all the women hit on me. So it's like when he says I'll bring you to a good place, he actually means like maybe this town is full of prostitutes. Wow, I never put that together. Is that the reason there are only women here? That's fascinating if that's the case. I definitely never picked up on that. I just always thought it was a funny line. There's a church here, good. Okay. Oh my gosh, I really hope that that's the case, because I did not know that, if that's true. Poor Simon is gonna die of his wounds. The curse will overcome him. Unfortunately. Then how will his grandson be born? We won't have the beautiful love story of Juste and Maxim. It's a shame. That was like one of my favorite bits from that series. The relationship between Juste and Maxim becoming unintentionally homosexual. Oh well, it's funny. I'm also really glad I decided on the voices for each of them I gave them. Because like with Juste, it was just kind of like off the cuff. I had no idea what I was gonna make him sound like. And then it's just like, he sounds stupid now. And Maxim's like, he's country for no reason. And it worked out just fine. Oh, come on, morning sun. Vanquish the horrible night. I want to see all the ladies in the pink town. Like, the more I think about it, the more it proves true in my mind. You know? It's one of those, like, confirmation bias things where, like, you get something in your head and then you just keep coming up with reasons why you're right. It's like, of course that's it. What else could it be? Nothing else makes sense. It's like, of course other things make sense. Of course they do. But I'm excited about my theory now, and that's what I'm going to stick with. Come on. Daytime. So when is daytime? Oh, we're almost there. I'm gonna guess daytime is at 5 a.m. I was wrong. 6 a.m. Yep, 6 a.m. Hello, ladies. That's not very nice. That one's just mean. I'm really fascinated by that idea, because, like, it does stand out that there are only women in this town, right? That's fascinating. I love it. Now I know what kind of good place he wanted to bring me to. Heh heh. 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 Hello, madam. Okay. Gypsies love garlic for a reason. I've been waiting for a good-looking guy like you. Oh, the ladies love Simon Belmont. Except for that one woman who told him to hit his head against a rock. Why does she tell you to hit your head against a rock? Hit your head against the rock at Deborah Cliff. Do it. Bye. I'm in the Sodom Woods. It's not really woods. This is like, I would almost describe this as a wasteland. Not a jam wasteland, but a wasteland. I mean, there's a forest in the distance. Like, there's a forest way over there. This ain't no forest, though. I wonder if the Sodom Woods are so named, like they were supposed to be like a reference to Sodom and Gomorrah originally. There's a really good Super Nintendo RPG called well, the Japanese name of it is Rudra no Hiho. And the fan translation is called Treasure of the Rudras. I call it Legacy of the Rudra. But that's a game that inexplicably has a lot of references to Sodom and Gomorrah. I don't know why. It just does. Lots of Sodom and Gomorrah references. Oh good, here we go. It's a really cool game though. I like that game a lot. Probably gonna play it on here eventually. We'll see. It would definitely have to be a game that I stream because it's just too long otherwise. Alright, where am I supposed to go? Oh, okay. Definitely cool. Gotcha. Gotcha. Alright, you. Get out of here. And up. And up. Up. Yep. Wouldn't have gotten that one either. The nail of Dracula possesses the power to shatter evil walls. Well, it's a pretty clear explanation. A lot clearer than the, Do you think that's what the woman was talking about? With the hit your rock and see which breaks first? Maybe she was trying to tell you that there's a breakable rock at Deborah Cliff. Holy moly, I'm so excited by this retranslation because it's just making so many things that much clearer, you know? That's awesome. I love it. I love it. I love it if that's correct. Again, I have no way of knowing, but sure seems to make sense. All right, where are the Devious Woods? Devious Woods are over here. All right, so I'm going to have to go through the Lake of Utah. All right, which way was that? This way? Or was it the other way? No, it was the other way. Other way. Like, I think what's especially interesting about, you know, playing the game and learning these things is that it goes to show not only how competent the original game was, but also how much was lost by the translation problems, you know? Like, because I mean, this game, you know, I was talking about at the beginning of this, or earlier in the stream, the idea of how some games have like a reputation because they were released in an incomplete form and were forever that way. You know, it's like they're never going to be like, you know, this is sort of a special thing where fans decided to take it upon themselves to update the game. But the original, you know, has been released for many years, and you know, it's not like Konami seems like they're in any okay, I'm in the Devious Woods, so it's somewhere here. All right, yeah, Konami's not in any sort of rush to re-release it in like retranslate it or anything, because the Japanese version is fine. Like they don't have any problems with the Japanese version. I don't know. There we go. Death poked Carmilla's eye with a concealed knife. Excuse me? The original comment was Dracula's evil knife blurs Camilla's vision. This just sounds like there was horseplay happening. All right, well, Death and Carmilla were fooling around, and you know, as what was that kid from Christmas Story, Frankie or Richie? You know, you're gonna put your eye out. Death should have paid attention. He did in fact put someone's eye out. Is that why she's weeping bloody tears? Or is it like, because it's either a reference to the idea that she's weeping bloody tears, or it's a reference to the fact that the knife works really well against her. I don't know. Whatever. We can beat the game now though, because we have all the clues. Want to check them out? Yeah. Wait. Yeah, I got all of them. Yeah. Yeah, feels good. I should save. There we go. Cool. But yeah, we can beat the game now. Yay. Man, that's cool. This has been a great experience to play through this version. I've really enjoyed seeing just seeing like what the game can be like with these little like changes and how they drastically improved the playability of the game. You know, it's like I can't say that I know what it would be like if I had never played the game before, you know. Because I have played the game. I'm familiar with it. What happened? What? Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, my controller ran out of energy. Oh fudge. Ah! Oh no. I gotta go get another controller. Ah! That's a problem. Why you use wired controllers? All right, unplug. Plug in. Okay, good. Okay, this is why you don't use those little USB controllers or whatever. Use the actual hardware. Oy vey. Surprised I didn't die though. Bit of a shocker, really. Kill. But yeah, like I really find myself wondering how easily someone would get through this game, like get through this version of the game, who wasn't familiar with it. You know, like would they be able to use the information included in the game to make it through? Because, I mean, it really does seem like there's a fair number of usable clues in this. I don't know. Just an idea. Just curious. Alright, I gotta go... So Yomi is this way, so I gotta go to Yomi. And unfortunately for me, there's no church in Yomi. There's only that one old woman who was like, live with me! Everyone else here is gone. All we got ahead of us is the Vlad Graveyard and Dora the Explorer Woods. Those aren't going to help us. I hope they didn't make the bad ending too depressing. You know? Hope they weren't like, and so, because of the terrible gameplay of MoeChicken, Simon died a horrible, horrible screaming death. I'm like, oh. I'm sad now. I didn't mean to hurt Simon. I'm sorry, buddy. There's his butt. Number of continues, 7. Yeah. I haven't played terribly well tonight, but it's okay. This is the definitive playthrough. You know it's definitive because I told you it is. So, there. And let me through here. Da, 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 da. So one thing I always did think was really cool about this game is that when you get to Castlevania, it's empty. Like they used a similar tile set to the first game, so you know where you are. You're in Castlevania. And like it has unique music. This music isn't played anywhere else in the game, but there are no monsters here. It's abandoned. I remember thinking that's really cool, and then you have to like break through the ground here to get into the like the deeper parts. It's such a neat and pretty unexpected way they did this. To imply that like the place has been abandoned, you know? And like Dracula's curse is elsewhere now. A very neat way to handle it. But we're almost done now. Do you use the flame or the diamond? I think you use the diamond. Switch to the diamond. There's like a really easy way to fight this fight. Throw everything up there. And then they burn. And Dracula appears. Was it just me, or does it look like Dracula's wearing like an aviator's cap, like with the little goggles and stuff? It just sort of looks like he's a skull wearing an aviator's cap. I won, though. Yay! The battle has consummated. Now peace and happiness have been restored to Transylvania, and the people are free of Dracula's curse forever. And you, Simon Belmondo, will always be remembered for your slow reading comprehension and your bravery and courage. Toast to the victory. I wish it just said toast. Toast! Achieved in 17 days. You say it that way, it sounds kind of cool, actually. I did it. Yeah. I gotta say, so that was like the last. Oh, program with the following characteristics. Akamatsu. What is this? Invincibility, permanence, philosophy, masterpiece, sensitivity, excellence, ambivalence, flourish, admiration, warm heart, superiority, synchronism, and insight. What does this mean? I don't know what this means. All right, well, I did it. Yeah, so I always sort of felt like, oh. I remember that yellow text first. It always sort of felt like the bad ending, so to speak, was like the most sort of neutral, you know? Like the idea was, it just kind of comes across as you saved the day and will always be remembered for your valiant bravery. Whereas like the normal ending says like, you saved the day, but then you died, which is a bummer. And then like the good endings has like, it says you saved the day and didn't die, but then it has like Dracula's hand come out of the dirt. It's very strange to me the way they set it up. But anyway, that was Simon's Quest reimagined, or whatever it's called, retranslated. I have really enjoyed playing this through. And I do recommend it, especially if you're familiar with Simon's Quest and you want to see what it would be like with, you know, some quality of life stuff and a retranslation. With this retranslation, I really do feel like the game is clear enough to play. I think you can probably figure out everything you need to know. So that's going to be for the stream. This was almost a 4-hour stream. That's a long time for me. I know for some streamers that's like just their warm up, but for me that's a long time. So hope y'all enjoyed it. And yeah, I hope you come out again. But that's it for tonight. As always, I'm the MoeChicken. This has been my stream of Castlevania II, and thank you for stopping by.